Well, good afternoon, everybody, and welcome along to the start of another year of this ePremier League club journey. Here with Wolves for their club playoff finals. My name is Brandon Smith. Of course, joining me, as always, is that man, Richard Buckley. We might not be on LAN, but we are at home and we are excited to be here for the next few hours, Rich. Our first ever time working with Wolves. We're buzzing to be here in what is going to be the fifth year now of the ePremier League. Remember, the finals take place next March. So much money on the line.
We've started to see a trickling of club playoffs taking place, but we're here, live event. We've got some fantastic players. The competition has already got underway. We're going to be joining it in the final couple of rounds, the winners bracket final, the losers bracket final, and then our pivotal grand finals are going to be getting underway. We're going to be seeing which two players, one on Xbox, one on PlayStation, will be our official ePremier League Wolverhampton Wanderers participants and representatives at the EPL finals.
Yeah, like I said, a massive thank you to Wolves for getting us involved in the broadcast this year. Not many clubs do provide an official broadcast like this, so fair play to Wolves, who have been in FIFA Esports now for a handful of years, one of the few Premier League clubs as well to give players sort of full-time contracts, so to speak, as well. So great to be involved. And what makes this more interesting, Richard, is that two of the players that played for the club last year are in the tournament today, so they could actually re-qualify for a second consecutive year, which never normally happens in the ePremier League. So let's have a look at the overview of the ePremier League itself. If you don't know what it is, you don't know how it happens, you don't know what happens overall across the different stages, there are a number of different qualifications, Richard, isn't there? There's online qualifiers, I think it's online qualifier playoffs, and then there's the club playoffs where we are here today. And then after that, we'll catch up again in March in London next year for the big grand finals over 2 days.
Yeah, I'll break it down to you very, very quickly. We've got the online qualifiers. These, you just sign up, you register your interest to play, and then you have to play in a number of real large qualifying matches. These were taking place during the first couple of weeks of November. After that, you get a position in the club that you are in. You get a ranking spot, basically. That ranking then takes you through to the online qualifier playoff. Each round, you basically eliminate the bottom lot. So it's a constant cut-off. From the online qualifiers, you cut off the rest. From the online qualifier playoff, you cut off the rest. And for Wolverhampton Wanderers, we were looking for 3 players. 3 on Xbox, 3 on PlayStation to come into the club playoffs. That's where we are right here, right now, 3rd of December, where we cut off again 3 more competitors to find 1 player on each platform to represent Wolves. Brandon, why were we only looking for 3 players, I hear ask? That is because we had 1 player on Xbox and 1 player on PlayStation who got automatic spots by Wolves into the online club playoffs.
Yeah, absolutely. So how it works, as you said, Rich, if you represent the club last year, a lot of clubs are kind enough to give you that token, so to speak, of welcome you straight into the club playoffs, which gives you the fast track, so to speak, past 2 online qualification stages. And speaking of the players, let's have a look at the brackets today, because as we said, there were 4 that qualified on Xbox coming into today and 4 over on PlayStation. This is your Xbox bracket, and it's safe to say, Rich, a lot has been going on today already. I think there's been 35 goals scored before we've even kicked off a ball in our main broadcast today. And that's because the upper bracket round 1 has taken place, but also the lower bracket round 1 has concluded, and we've already said goodbye to 1 Xbox representative today.
Yeah, this was the Xbox side of things. Joey Sharp beating Farney 11-2. He was the player who got the auto spot in by Wolves. Big Bear beating Linus 5-4. Linus went down to the lower round 1, basically the lower bracket semi-finals. He beat Farney 10-2, meaning that Farney is now eliminated from the tournament. Linus will wait the loser of Joey Sharp versus Big Bear. The importance of staying in the upper bracket means that when you get through to that final, you only have to win one match of FIFA. That's on the Xbox. On the PlayStation, it's also been a goal fest. There's been plenty of balls hitting the back of the net. And look, it's sort of been Kai Harris doing a really, really good job. The PlayStation side, super stacked, Brandon.
Yeah, let's jump over to that PlayStation Club playoff bracket now, if we can do so. We showed the lay of the land. Maybe not 35 goals in this bracket, but nevertheless, there has been a lot happening in it. Keep an eye on, as we said, the likes of Kai, as you said, Richard, who represented Wolves last year, looking to represent Wolves again next year in March. Brig Army did lose to the hands of Broomy, JC, who is involved with the likes of Sheffield Wednesday as a player coach as well. Great to see more English football clubs involved in the FIFA esports scene. We did lose a player though. CH Pokin FIFA, a Russian-based FIFA player living in the UK, did get knocked out, unfortunately. Credit where it is due for getting a top 4 finish in the PlayStation side of the bracket. He is out. Brig Army did win that all-important elimination game, 5-4. Wasn't an easy win for him. As it stands, those are your 3 players left on the PlayStation side of the bracket. You've got Kai Harris, Broomy, JC, and Brig Army 17. Remember, only one from each console can represent the club next year in March. So there's a lot on the line, Richard. And as we said today, a lot of will follow through with our PlayStation matchup as well. So lots of FIFA to come. Thank you again for joining us here on the Twitch channel of Wolves Esports. If you're not following yet, what are you doing? Hit that follow button for a lot more content like this, because we're excited to be involved, Rich. And it's our first tournament, you could say, of the ePremier League for this year. And we're looking forward to being involved in this one.
Yeah, we've already started to see a couple of other sort of club playoffs taking place and what the competition's looking like this season in FIFA 23 for the ePremier League, one of the premier UK FIFA events for the calendar year. A lot of eyes going to be focused on this. If you're a UK-based FIFA player, this is the tournament that you have to qualify for. So I'm really looking forward to seeing who and how Wolves will do in the ePremier League come March next year. They've had a good history, you could say. A lot of talent has played and gone through the doors of Wolverhampton Wanderers in the ePremier League. Obviously, they've had a long history as well in this tournament. They've been in the Premier League for 5 years, meaning that they've had 5 years of representation in said league. So I'm really looking forward. Maybe this could be the year where they go a couple of steps further and make it late in a bracket run.
Yeah, well, we spoke about another player, actually. There's actually 3 players, isn't there, in this bracket that have represented Wolves before. Linas represented the club in 2020. He's still in this bracket. He's keen to go again. I looked on his Twitter earlier today. His pinned tweet is still him qualifying for Wolves all those years ago. Keen to get back out there and show what he can do. But you're right. I think Wolves have always been in the Premier League. Obviously, they have been in the Premier League, of course. But two top 16 finishes in the last 2 years. It's been better than past outings, but I think as a club, they'd want to go still a lot further, especially with the players that they have had. You know, the likes of Unsul does play, the Swede. Unfortunately, he didn't get into tonight's bracket. I know he's watching. Sorry, Unsul. I do apologise. But the likes of Fafilza, you know, these guys have reached out. Wolves have been putting a lot of financial support into FIFA Esports. They've been picking up players from South America as well. They've always been involved in the ecosystem. So I think we're happy to say we should be jumping into our first game of today. It involves Joey Sharp, a man that a lot of people love in the FIFA scene. Represented Wolves last year, as we said. Keen to go again this year. But in recent times, he's sort of gone from less of a player role, hasn't he, to more of a coaching role. I know he's been involved with Burnley, obviously not in the Premier League now. And I spoke to him earlier today and he went, look, you know, you might not see the Joey Sharp that you might have seen in past times, but he won his first game of scoring 11 goals, I think, Rich.
I mean, what can Joey Sharp not do? Player, coach, FIFA entrepreneur, you could say, running a lot of sort of his own events as well in previous times. So I really think when you look at him, he does have that sort of fan following behind him. People will expect him to play out this bracket as well and be that lone survivor and be the qualifier. So there is that extra added layer of pressure, where especially when you have sort of been hand selected to go in to that tournament and not having to go through the trenches, really, that is the online qualifier and then the online qualifier playoff, to be able to have that spot right into the club playoffs, to know that you've only got to perform on one day to make your sort of mark count and to get that spot guaranteed. So I really do think that there's there is a little bit more pressure on Joey and Kai, respectively, on both sides of the bracket. But they are top quality FIFA players, and you would probably, if you were to look at it, potentially you would think they were the favourites on each side of the bracket.
Yeah, well, we should be jumping into our first game of today in... Jamie, in your next game, you will represent the club in London next year.
Yep, absolutely. And look, also the importance of staying in the winner's bracket, making sure that you get that spot and you move forward into the next round. Tell you what, Brandon, I feel like I'm in a nightclub. Only I'm getting a FIFA Esports action, but at 2:20 in the afternoon, I'm getting a groove on.
This is obviously that we're taking the players' feeds for this broadcast today. Some are giving their viewers, I guess, or themselves a bit of extra audio backup there. But nevertheless, this is the game in focus for today. And just keep in mind who is who for those at home. If you are wondering who is EPL 01 and EPL 03, that does align with Joey Sharp kicking from left to right in that Wolves home strip. And Big Bear kicking from right to left in this first opening half of action. Let's just speak about the teams very briefly, Richard, because we're going to see probably the same 8 players or so involved in every single team. One man that will be involved in pretty much everything today and will be causing havoc is Cristiano Ronaldo, who does get dispossessed by Koulibaly. But what is your overall take on the teams today? And I guess who's going to be the main sort of stars of the show that we should expect to see?
I think, obviously, we're expecting to see Ruud Gullit, Yaya Toure, this one on the ball, David Ginola slamming it into the back of the net for Joey Sharp. He's going to be pivotal in that attacking trio, as you could say. He's the main man. He's the player that, in previous years, we've had a lack of 5-star skill players, 5-star weak foot players. The introduction of foot heroes, the introduction of David Ginola makes the attacking options very, very simple.
Before that goal went in, Richard, you may have just seen it, the tiny little reverse elastico there, which made all the difference for David Ginola to tuck it into the back of the goal. Joey Sharp does lead by a goal to nil in this one. If you have just joined us, welcome along to Wolves' club playoff for the ePremier League 22-23 season as a Trivella. We'll be seeing a lot more of those today. They might not be as successful as they were a few months ago, but nevertheless, they can be still so dangerous. Cantona. That's Cristiano Ronaldo. This is Big Bear kicking from right to left, as we said. Cuts back inside, needs the help. Edwin van der Sar.
Ljungberg getting the nod in the wide midfield area. World Cup hero. Foot item, Freddie Ljungberg.
If I'm wrong, Richard, I think one of the biggest differences this year as well, there isn't really a... I guess an icon cap, so to speak, where we will be seeing the likes of Vieira, we'll be seeing Van der Sar involved, we will be seeing even the likes of Samuel Eto'o. I know he was a fan's favourite for qualification.
Eric Cantona
came through with some clutch moments. Eric Cantona, you know, needs to cast your mind back to how well Brentford got on last year.
I also think as well, Brandon, there's been so many high-value promo items, especially with the World Cup currently taking place. There's just so many more available players in the Premier League.
Especially with those heroes as well, as you mentioned.
Yeah.
The World Cup upgrades that have come out for the likes of Yaya Toure. I mean, he will be influential as ever. Mohamed Salah. Just down to the opposite side where he normally would. He used Kyle Walker. Deals with that one without any problem whatsoever. We will try and get the audio issue sorted for you guys as well at home. If you are aware, there are some background sounds playing. They've got commentary from us, game sound, and a bit of music. We'll try and get that sorted for you guys. Remember why we're here today, to find the next 2 players for Wolves. The 22-23 ePremier League season. The other PlayStation game, which is just about to kick off right now, sees Kai Harris, who represented the club last year, taking on Rumi. Let's go over and check out that game now, which looks as if it has just kicked off. And it is underway, this one. Kai kicking from left to right, Brumi from right to left in this game. 2 winners again, Richard, from the upper bracket. They've not tasted defeat as of yet. Kai winning 4 goals to 1, and Brumi in a bit more of a tight game, 6 goals to 4 in his way through.
Yeah, I think when you look as well, obviously, both of these two players really, really confident, comfortable FIFA players in their own right. They are sort of definitely, you would say, within the top 100 potentially, maybe even top 50 UK FIFA esports players right now. So I'm very intrigued to see what we see from these two. So I think it will be a narrow margin. I think maybe a 1 goal, maybe a 2 goal split. And ball looking over the top there for Kai, doesn't fall to him in the end. And a good run out in the E-Champions League. Did Kai. I think it was losers bracket round 4, if memory serves me correct. So he'll be coming into this plenty of confidence.
Be finding himself 1-0 down there if he's able to defend that. Of course he is, with the help of Virgil van Dijk and Carl Walker. You should probably go out and say this year, Rich, of all years, that, I mean, we haven't even got to Team of the Year yet or whatnot, but currently, in terms of a playoff opportunity, this might be the most stacked Premier League teams that these guys may have been able to use in terms of their online qualification.
Yeah, I would say so. I think the online element of it, having all players available, not only to use, but also with the restrictions not really being a thing, and just the heroes, having someone like Yaya Toure be able to dominate in the midfield, green time finesse there, sting in the hands of Edwin van der Sar, but just having those players come in and completely patch over a hole or make the team just simply better helps so much.
Mohamed Salah goes down to ground. Referee waves that one away. He says it's just a time red finish, and not much more than that. 0-0 here, 26 minutes left. Let's jump back across, if we can, to the Xbox game, just to see what the latest is over there. Both games currently underway at the same time. This is bracket round 2. The winner of these games will go straight into the grand final today. Well, they will be one step away from representing the club next year. It is still the same storyline here, Richard. 50 minutes on the clock, and Joey Sharp up by a goal to 0 from that reverse elastico. David Ginola goal in the first half.
It looks to be somewhat one-way traffic. I mean, when we've come onto the game, we were watching it for the first 20-25 minutes. It was seemingly all Joey. Big Bear coming out of a really good result, actually. 5-4 win against Linus. Giving a lot of confidence moving into these pivotal winners round final matches.
Mohamed Salah and Ginola come into each other. This could be an equaliser. Well played there. João Cancelo, the left back, had to come across. Didn't know much about it, but
last ditch.
Had to throw something in the way. But just that point we were speaking about, Rich, in terms of just how stacked some of these teams are. Just the mixture, though, this early into the year, it feels. I mean, normally the club playoffs should normally be speaking sort of January, February time. This year it's come more in the winter months with the World Cup. It's a good opportunity to use this exposure in esports for a lot of these Premier League clubs. But just how many different items are in these teams? It just feels so early into the year to have teams that are just, yeah, look, World Cup heroes, World Cup players, informs, numerous
icons,
promos, icons, rule breakers. The list goes on.
I think also you've got some items in there that upgrade with the progression of the World Cup as well. So if England, Senegal, one of those two players, Kyle Walker or Koulibaly, will be improved also, it's only going to get better for a number of these squads.
Oh, well played, Lundberg. Cantona, one more pass. Can't find the extra. Finished the goal. That was Yaya Toure. It just seems to be the perfect +1 for Ruud Gullit. 65 minutes on the clock. Here's a chance for Big Bep. Cuts it back ever so nicely. Kyle Walker, of all people, finds himself in the box. Has to get back to fullback before he does get pulled out of his position there.
You saw the right idea.
Wanted to be here, Richard. An end-to-end game of FIFA in the first leg.
You saw the right idea there from Joey, trying to knock it first time over the top. We have got a goal in our PlayStation winners bracket final. Mohamed Salah right on the stroke of half-time. 1 goal to the good.
And it's gone the way, Richard, of Kai, who did represent the club last year. As we said, he's looking to do it again for a second year in a row. But that's the PlayStation match underway. This one coming towards its closing stages there. Not as many goals, though, so far in this one. But that's what we expect in these first leg games, Richard. It's always a case of a bit of a feeling out process. He's nice. Turns his man well. Joey Sharp. And tries to shimmy with Cristiano Ronaldo. Past 1 or 2 players. Patrick Vieira and Koulibaly. Smart enough just to hold him in his tracks. While we go into this pause, let's jump back across again to that PlayStation game. We'll join it live. Second half of action. 2 different camera angles you can see being favoured here.
You just saw the power and sort of presence that Ruud Gullit has. We talk about Ruud Gullit. He was the man aimed for that cross into the box, but just his overall demeanour on the pitch, he's scary to play against.
Oh, this is nice. Is it clean enough? No, it's not. Just speaking about that partnership, do you think there really is a better +1 for Ruud Gullit? I mean, the arrival of Yaya Toure, I was lucky enough to pack his base for Hero, which is still unbelievable. You can't even dream to think what the World Cup hero is like. Them as a duo, just both incredible defensively, can get forward, can make things happen. They are just the ultimate box-to-box midfielders for any sort of 4-4-2, a 4-2-3-1. Anything that offers you a DM, box-to-box centre mid, they are the 2 players that are first on the team sheet.
Oh, it's just 2 absolute powerhouses. Just the presence, the power, the physique, the technical ability as well, which is sometimes overlooked. Skill move, weak foot, you name it. They are so good inside the box. They're so good defending both boxes for that matter. And it also allows you to... It used to be Vieira and Ruud Gullit, but now it allows Vieira to slot into centre-back, to play as one of the best centre-backs on the game. Tall, physical, and can sort of pair really nicely either next to Virgil van Dijk or Koulibaly. It just works so well.
Salah on this left-hand side. Anchao Cancelo. Just building into this is Kai. That's got a pause queued, looking to maybe make a few changes. Just back to that Koulibaly point though, Richard, you have to think he was sort of getting to the point where he was becoming maybe a little bit stale for some teams. The fact that Senegal have had that run of the World Cup that they have, and he did get that World Cup promo item, it's just made him a little bit more enjoyable. I mean, if you look past him, who else really goes in there? If it wasn't him, it's always going to be Virgil van Dijk +1.
Yeah, it's just the upgrades in which he got as well. The pace boost specifically, the acceleration boost. He's just so dominant across that back four, and it's the real question of Van Dijk or Koulibaly, as Koulibaly gets stepped past there, but who else is there to defend nicely for Brumi? Mr. Ruud Gullit.
Kai does get into one of those really dangerous areas again there, Brumi. Show what he can do. Just to stop him in his tracks. Pressure, no doubt, will change for all these players now from 2 online qualifications for the players that had to go the long way around this qualifier to get to these club playoffs, which are now on broadcast with commentary. These guys will be feeling the pressure. Let's jump across to the Xbox game. Not too sure what's happened here exactly. And we have a full-time result on that one for now. Let's jump back. Again, we'll do our best not to give away too many tactics and changes that players are making. But just on the bench conversation, Rich, we haven't really been able to see a proper bench or substitutions. I've had to put you on the spot. One name that we probably will be seeing coming off the bench, icon, gold item, any promo item in these Premier League teams. Who do you think is going to be that first player?
I'll give you 2. Because I'm in a giving mood today, Brandon. Look, it's the season of giving. I will give you Anthony from Manchester United, the one to watch. Anthony, 96 pace, 89 dribbling, such an impact off the bench. He can do almost everything that's required of him. And the second player that you will get is Rule Breakers Wilfred Zaha. 5-star skills, good pace, good dribbling, great shooting. Again, a pacey player, can come off, he can change the game. I would have those type of players coming off the bench to potentially try and clutch up in the final third.
In terms of that, Anthony, Richard, which variant would it be of his game item or just the normal gold?
The one to watch, the 86 rated, with Brazil picking up a victory and Man United also getting the upgrade. I think he might not have picked up a special sort of performance-based item yet, an inform or a man of the match, but he has been getting the boost. So he's up at 86 and just
What's
different.
that post? Could be a chance there. Speaking of ones to watch players, Richard, I mean, is Darwin Núñez a shout for the bench, maybe?
For me, no. But I think if you wanted that sort of physical presence, the pace in behind, he can definitely do you a job.
Really nicely, could be a second here for Kai. Dancing in the box of Cristiano Ronaldo again. It's last-ditch tackles from Brumi. It's happened a few times now in this game, Rich. The ball's just falling to Cristiano Ronaldo. You can see Kai looking for a little combination or a little skill move just to break away, but he's not getting that animation in his favour, or just the timing of it. It's just been off ever so slightly.
Well, it's also, you have to credit the defensive work of Brumi as well. He's almost reading every single skill move, every single passage of play that's coming for him. And when you can't read it, you expect your goalkeeper to make big saves for you, just as Van der Sar just did.
And there we have it. Full time here. We didn't see many goals in round one after 35 in the first couple of here with Wolves in the Premier League. Of course, myself, Brandon Swift, and Richard Buckley guiding you through all the action in today's broadcast. Not many goals, Rich, as I said, but probably as expected. First game on broadcast, first ever game on a broadcast for some of these guys. And also, we always say it, a game's over 2 legs. The second legs always come to life from our time in FIFA Esports. They just seem to change.
The second legs always seem to liven up. Typically, players will play not to lose heavily that first leg, and then potentially the shackles come off in the second leg, and you start to see those passages of play and those attacking moves starting to become more frequent. I also have to say, there's those players, when you look, like potentially Big Bear, especially. I think the other three have had that little bit more experience, whether it's playing online, playing in online tournaments, playing in online sort of big qualifying games. We don't know too much about Big Bear. We did our due diligence, we did our research, and we couldn't really find too much about him. So I think those nerves, and we've already seen it in the Discord today, somebody saying it's hard to compete. It's hard to get to that level where you know that you've got the FIFA ability to do it. You know that if you're playing Weekend League or Division Rivals or against your friends, you can play at a real top level, but replicating it and then also really sort of performing when your back's against the wall, when your hands are a little bit shaky, that's where the cream rises to the top. And at the moment, both winners' bracket finals are nice and narrow. I think they could go either way.
Well, as we said, Rich, we're going to jump back into some games now. But the moral of the story is you win this game, you are... They've just lost us on commentary for a split second there, but so close to making it 1-1 was Big Bear there. I'm not too sure what's happened. We've had a little bit of a disconnect between the two players. We'll get it sorted as soon as we can. But what's happened there, Richard? Eric Cantona just millimetres offside.
Yeah, just offside. I think we've had a little bit of an issue with the game being set up incorrectly. So we'll get that sorted very shortly indeed. We do obviously have our second winners bracket final underway on the PlayStation. We'll head over to that and we'll see what is transpiring over there. The beauty of having two games played at the same time, that you're never going to be short of action here at the Wolves ePremier League Club Playoff.
There may have just been a slight issue of how that game lobby was set up between Joey Sharp and Big Bear. We'll get it sorted and we'll join it back as soon as we can. For now, over to this one where it could be a 2-goal lead. Daviginola just getting himself into a bit of a twist. What a golden chance that was, Richie, for Kai to make it 2-0 in the first 10 minutes.
Yeah, just didn't have the room to be able to pop off a skill move or turn as quickly as he wanted to try and fire goalwards.
What to do for Broomy. Didn't really get all the chances in the world in that first leg. Found himself defending quite a lot of the time, but defending superbly well. From the case of just how long could he defend before Kai Harris was able just to break him down. Here's Mohamed Salah again, finds Daviginola, who will be involved in pretty much everything going forward in these teams, and you wouldn't look past White. Ever since his addition into FIFA Ultimate Team, he has been a game changer, the Frenchman. Just on that, Rich, why are we seeing Salah on that left-hand side? Is that just where his throw might has come out? So it could be a cheeky chip. One more pass. Virgil van Dijk just about does enough there, but Broomy nearly straight back in the game. Daviginola just wide of the right-hand post.
Big opportunity just there, Daviginola. You almost expect him to hit the target. Going back to the previous question, why Mohamed Salah off the left? I mean, it's mainly just for that Trivela. The ability to not really think about it, to come inside off the left flank and then arrow that Trivela, whether it's green-timed or not, into the far corner. Just gives you another opportunity to try and score.
Low. Vieira. You may have noticed as well that someone else that's in positions ever so slightly is Vieira. Ever since he's been involved in competitive FIFA, the pros have absolutely loved him as a centre-back, long ball forward. One was teased by Hullet. Still ongoing runs there from Broom. It's a running race with Salah and Virgil van Dijk nearly biting into that Kyle Walker. Certainly would have the pace on Mohamed Salah.
It's a really good shape there just from Kai. You can see the flat back four. A few midfielders in front of it. Ruud Hullet, Yaya Toure. Just to say that, he's been penetrated. And Broomy right back in the game.
It was the cheekiest of chips. I don't know if it was a cross or just an unbelievably well-timed pass into Min Son. In the last 24 hours, had quite the World Cup. It could be a key part today. Keeping Broomy in this upper bracket. As the equaliser does come in, 30 minutes on the clock. In this upper bracket round 2 matchup. Remember, the winner of this will stay in the upper bracket and find their way through to the grand final. But we wanted goals, Richard. We wanted this game to just turn around ever so slightly. And that's exactly what we've got.
Yeah, absolutely. We needed goals to liven and sort of force both players out of their comfort zones a little bit. When it was 1-0 or sort of a little bit more of a chess match. Now, just go for it. Winner take all! As Kai answers right back.
It's about time that Cristiano Ronaldo has done something in that area. The amount of times he's got on the ball and tried to make something happen. We said, was it the animation not right? The timing of the skin with that time, it was absolutely perfect. A cheeky little ball roll, scoop turn, whatever it was from Cristiano Ronaldo. Put Kai back in front. He only took him a few minutes to find his way back into this tie. Hopefully, more of the same on this PlayStation upper bracket game. It's Broomy. Looks to find a way through. Oh, he does! Timed it green! Here come the goals.
This is what we're waiting for. Right from kickoff, Broomy. Green timed. The hero that has been Heung-min Son. I mean, maybe asking questions of Patrick Vieira there. Trying to get something in front of the defender. But it flew straight through him and absolutely nothing Kai can do about it.
Hold up. Let's jump ships. We're happy to say Xbox is officially now got underway. And the correction on that will be Joey kicking from left to right. And that Wolves home strip. With Big Bet, who does trail by a goal to nil from right to left. Hoping for just as many goals we've seen in the game happening behind us. Reverse Elastico, it was nearly the exact same finish from the exact same position there from Joey 12 minutes in. Corner, played short, recycled well. Lundberg will have a shot, taking a wicked deflection out. Here's Mohamed Salah. Back defending, just about to clear up that.
I think you asking questions of David Ginola. Probably the net should be bulging there. The reverse elastico was nice. It created the space away from the defender, but the goalkeeper equal to it. All Joey Sharp though this opening 17.
Ginola still, watch that back post. He's looking for the perfect cutback. Vieira stuck in the way. Great press from Joey Sharp. Yaya Toure makes it 2 and just extends the gap.
Koulibaly caught napping. He was trying to play out of the back. Big Bear caught napping as well. Potentially in hibernation mode there. And Yaya Toure more than happy to fire past the keeper.
Just keep in mind that the loser of this game won't be out of the tournament. But by no means they'll be going into an easy game. They'll be going into a ridiculously difficult game. It'll be an elimination game in losers round 2. We're on this side of the bracket on the Xbox. Should be taking on Linas, a player who's already been to the Premier League for Wolves back in 2020. If Joey can find a third here, might already be concluded before we've even got to half-time. Into the pause menu we'll go. Let's jump ships again if we can. Back over to this one. Lucky to say, Rich, we haven't missed any goals, but while we're in the game, we're lucky enough to see 3 of them. We're in the second half of this one now. Broomy 2, Kai Harris 2. This one all to play for, heading into the last 40 minutes.
You just see that back post potentially starting to open up. Cancelo's been absolutely ragged there down the wing by David Ginola. Just running out of play there, did the Frenchman. But if I'm looking for a potential shortcut to another goal, it could be through João Cancelo being caught napping.
Salah charging forward. Keep in mind it is Broomy. Kicking from left to right. Sorry, from right to left. And that Wolves home strip. Kai represented the club last year in the away strip on the attack now, looking to use that player lock into his advantage. It nearly did if it wasn't for Carl Walker. Just timing that tackle superbly well. Ronaldo. Scoop turns away. As much as Vieira can try and defend that one, still finds his way back to Heung-min Son. That's been unbelievable on the side of Broomy. Scored 2 goals, an unbelievably tight angle on both of them. Salah cut back. Ginola that time, he'll time it green. And we'll give Kai the lead for a 3rd time in the game. But the question mark has always been, can he hold on to it? Because the past 2 times he's just thrown away the lead.
Yeah, he certainly has. It's David Ginola. Who else finding the big decisive goal? As we just joined David Ginola, Joey Sharp with an opportunity at the near post.
Looking for a 3rd.
PlayStation final certainly looks a lot more competitive at the moment. 3-2. It's been decided by. This has been relatively one-way traffic in this opening second leg. Similarly, Joey Sharp. Big Bear needs something, and he needs a goal to get him back into it.
It has to come now. Nice Elastico inside. Ginola find a way around Joey's defence there. Time. He's still on this side. He's got plenty of time left. Still about 50 minutes of in-game time. 5 minutes left of this first half. Oh, it's a bit of luck. Could be a 3rd though for Joey Sharp. It's Yaya Toure who gets himself a brace in the game. Forget Ronaldo, forget Cantona, forget Ginola. It's the Yaya Toure show. And Joey Sharp leads by 3-0.
It's a great second leg performance.
Might be even more than that, Richard. Cantona, a goal before half-time would be massive. Toward Big Bear, surely. Just maybe rushed that ever so slightly.
Just as I was saying, the Joey Sharp performance looks, you would say, to be wrapped up. It would be Big Bear going down to the losers final, taking on Linas, who did match earlier in the tournament. We'll get to that game if that is the matchup very shortly in our losers bracket final. Joey will be moving on to the grand final.
Yeah, just to confirm, we're not in the grand final as of yet. We are in the winners' finals. Next up will be the losers' finals, and then it will be time to jump in to each grand final individually. Is Ronaldo. Just smart. Edwin van der Sar going down. It's near post Broomy. 3-2 down in this one. Trying to find a way back with that magic man of Heung-min Son, who scored his 2 earlier goals. Back on the ball now. It's been so dangerous in these sort of areas. The pause we go. We'll jump back to see how the Xbox Winners Finals going. Joey Sharp leads 3-0.
It's time to press.
Surely it is.
Yeah, it's time to press for Big Bear. Has to force the issues. That could be a mistake out the back. Van der Sar just clutching onto that ball. Virgil van Dijk with the block at the back as well to take all the sting out of the strike.
Whips in. Jansen up. We'll jump back. Well, PlayStation game. The reason why we did leave the game for those at home is just we don't want to give away any player tactics, instructions, substitutions being made, just to keep it a fair viewing for all involved. Let's jump back over as soon as we can. We could be in for a Kai goal here to extend his lead. Anthony comes on, and we're seeing Erling Haaland for the first time this evening, Richard.
Yeah, I think he's sort of that player, whether you're chasing the game and you need to potentially go long, you need to look for that ball in behind, he gives you that. If you are leading in a game, he's the ultimate big man, he's the ultimate target man. Stick it long, stick it into the corners, play off of him. He can be very, very useful, and you can utilise him in both scenarios. But the weak foot, the skill moves, just doesn't really give you that sort of creativity. You know exactly what you're going to get with him.
Anthony. Gonna make a change for Broby here. Hullet. Watching his tracks by Virgil van Dijk. Cantona. Now this is where the defence looks to be a bit more open from Broby. His time is running out and he has to go for the game. A loss here will not take him out of the club playoff, but it will take him down to a loser's final. He will be taking on Brig Army. This is a chance. David Ginola must score. He does.
Well, well, well. The magic man, David Ginola.
Cantona.
Oh, that's a bad error.
Referee will allow it to go forward. Time's not on his side, Anthony. Will do well if he gets away with this one. Ginola. Haaland. Ginola. Kai. Oh, it was silky in the box.
Corner. He's going to play it.
He's given the corner. We've overplayed the time that was added. Anthony's over it. In it goes, and that should do us. Extra time, Richie, for the first time in this Wolves club playoff. It won't be the last, I can tell you that.
Yeah, we'll head on over to our Xbox match while we get ready for extra time. 4-0. Joey leads. I think the class has really shone through here in the end for Joey Sharp. He will be in that Xbox Grand Final, either taking on Big Bear or Linas. When that PlayStation extra time period is underway, we'll join right back into the action. Don't you worry about that. And here we go.
Here we go indeed. Not a bad outing, by the way, for Joey Sharp. Won his first game 11-2 against Farney. 4-0 up in his second game, Rich. That is 15 goals, 2 conceded in 2 different rounds of play.
What did he say before we got underway, Brandon? He dropped you a little DM and said he's not feeling that confident. Oh, red time.
Something on those lines, but I think he's just playing himself down. Can't look past the fact that he represented this club last year. No doubt there is a connection with the club and he's keen to go and represent them again this year back in London. Remember, 25th and 26th of March, the Premier League finals will conclude. Last year, Norwich City in a surprise package and winning the tournament. Who knows if this year could be Wolves. Minutes down already of extra time here. And the winner of this game will get a bit of a break, probably about an hour or so, where we will conclude the losers' finals. Eto, who said he'd be involved. Haaland, he's brooming. Still again, it could be a gift. It nearly was for Anthony. If it wasn't for the strong hand of Van der Sar, not once, maybe twice being called into action. The first time Broomy may have been able to take a lead across these 2 legs. Last chance of the half. Kai.
A half that's flown by as well.
Finds Haaland. Will he get the chance? Well played by Hullet there, just getting back up into defend for his team. And that should do us for half-time in extra time. You are right, though. It was a half that zoomed past, but half that was full of end-to-end chances.
Yeah, literally, I mean, the 45 minutes of action, just so quick. Wasn't really any time to even take a second off there. One-touch stuff here from Joey Sharp. He's having fun. 5-1 up. Could be 6.
Ginola!
Oh.
Scores! And we'll just continue. Unfortunately to rub salt in the wounds for Big Bet. And the storyline is pretty simple. Joey Sharp has registered an incredible 17 goals in 2 rounds of FIFA today, conceding just 3. We will go into our grand final. On the Xbox side of the bracket, the question is who will be joining him? We shall find out across the course of this afternoon and evening here on the Wolves Esports Twitch channel. Haaland, didn't know much about that one. And it became an incredible ball into the box. We are 10 minutes away from penalties here.
Do you think one of these two, whether it's Kai or Broomy, will potentially try and go the extra mile and sneak a winning goal before? I'd say the lottery, but there is skill to penalties before penalty shoots.
Maybe. Might not even need to go there, Richard. Haaland! It's just somehow. All that one out of the bag. 114 minutes on the clock. The angle looked a bit iffy. But it didn't matter to Kai Harris, who is 6 minutes away from another grand final in the club playoffs for Wolves. Or is he?
What a finish, by the way, from Erling Haaland. Left foot, just curled it in the far corner. And with yellow shirts marauding forward, could spell disaster for Broomy.
Find another game. Another goal here, sorry. To conclude the tie right now. Perisic. Dispossessed. Will Broomy get one more roll of the dice? I think he might. Anthony Haaland and Adama Traore of Wolves. That'll be a storyline. He could be involved in anything today.
Oh,
added time of 1 minute. Over the top it goes. Well played, Vieira, who has just done enough to get that ball back into the hands of Edwin van der Sar and to get Kai Harris into a grand final on the PlayStation side of the bracket. Leg, Rich, and that's exactly what they did.
yeah, absolutely. I mean, also, I think when you start to look at this bracket as it's taking shape now, the two players who were fast forwarded straight into this club playoff are both in their respective grand finals. Joey Sharp on the Xbox, Kai on the PlayStation. So maybe there's something in that as well. We talked about the added pressure, but also, is there more pressure potentially on the other players, knowing that this guy, he was there last year. He's been also fast forwarded. He's been given this spot. It's going to be a tough game before you've even kicked off.
Can we just say as well, Richard, how good that is from those players as well? Because we know FIFA, we know the game changed. We know that the level of players change year by year. People change teams who they try and go for. These two have remained loyal to Wolves to try and qualify for them for a second year in a row. And the consistency they've showed this early into the year as well shows they've really just been putting in their grind, getting their craft right in terms of FIFA, and fair play to them. They are technically one two-legged game away from being involved in the 5th year of the ePremier League.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm really looking forward to seeing who they will be facing. Will it be a rematch of the winners bracket final, or potentially will it be a fresh game for them going into that pivotal grand final matchup? Coming up next, we've got the losers bracket finals. It's going to be good games. It's going to be really entertaining. Brig Army, I know he's got a lot of support, up against Broomy. That's going to be a cracker on the PlayStation. And on the Xbox, another really, really good game. Linus, who has been there before for Wolverhampton Wanderers, against Big Bear, who has to just forget about that last game, move forward, fresh mindset, and show some of his best FIFA if he wants to get something out of it.
No, absolutely. Well, there's a lot more to come here today. We've still got, I believe, at least 3 more rounds of action. But for now, we are going to go to a quick break. Our first break of the day here at the Wolves ePremier League Club Playoff. We'll be back in a few minutes' time for those losers finals. Don't go anywhere. Well, welcome back to the Wolves ePremier League Club Play. If you may have just caught, if you didn't, or you just joining us today, you may have just caught an incredible first round of action in our winners' finals. We haven't said goodbye to anyone else today in the Club Play, but we have said congratulations to one man who is in the grand final. They haven't qualified for the Premier League as of yet, but they are one game of FIFA away from doing so. Myself, Brown, and fan Richard Buckley, I've got the utmost pleasure of being able to guide you through all the action here today on the Twitch TV channel of Wolves Esports. But Rich, as we said, not a bad start to play. The first legs were a little bit shaky, but then it all came alive in the end, and we are slowly but surely moving our way through these brackets tonight.
Yeah, I mean, I think a great start to action when we said the second legs would fire these games into life, and that's exactly what they did. The second legs were full of goals, whether it was one way for Joey Sharp or whether it was a back and forth extra time affair in our PlayStation winners bracket final between Kai and Broomy. Now, for those two losers, they've got to rebuild, they've got to re-go again, because we're straight underway, we're straight into action in our lower bracket finals.
Yeah, so should we have a little look at the brackets to give you guys an update at home? Let's go Xbox first, because there's 5 goals, by the way, after the upper round one and the lower round one. Quick maths from me. 42 goals we've seen so far in this club playoff bracket. One man that's probably scored most of them is Joey Sharp, who's in the grand final. He's obviously one game away from qualifying for a second consecutive year for Wolves in the ePremier League. He gave me a message earlier this morning and said, maybe don't expect everything from me today. Rich, I think he's underplayed himself a little bit because he's been flying through this bracket.
Yeah, I think he really has. I think when you look at the quality in particular that he has, you don't lose the ability of sort of experience and knowing how to play. We always say tournament football, Brandon, that ability just to see games out, to really turn on the pressure and turn the tap on when you need to and blitz people away. And that's exactly what he did against Big Bear.
Absolutely, and look, fair play to him as well. He didn't concede many goals, but the game in focus is going to be Big Bear, as we said, up against Linas. Remember, he represented this club back in 2020. He's going to be keen to get back there a few years later. On the opposite side, on the PlayStation bracket, games have been a little bit more tight over here. Not as many goals we've seen, but nevertheless, a second leg that came to life between Kai Harris, who also is so close to representing Wolves again for a second consecutive year. It could literally be the same team of Kai and Joey Sharp if they can continue their dominance. But that been a lot of love for him in the chat, hoping that he can try and get that extra step forward into that grand final.
Well, he's also just a great player as well. When you look at his achievements, he reached the ECL qualifying knockouts. He's got a sort of a club at the moment in the Notorious Academy. Division rivals, he was there. He got his spot. So in season 1, or the first knockoff sort of split, you would say. So I think quality-wise, we know he's got it. We know he can perform. But this is a really, really tough matchup for both players here, Brig Army and Broomy, respectively.
Yeah, with all that being in mind, I think we are near enough ready to get our second matches underway here today. As we said, we're going to be playing both games at the same time, but we will be staggering the kickoffs ever so slightly so we can jump across from side to side. Again, we want to get you guys involved at home. We can see a few of you that have tuned in today and have been keen enough to get involved in the conversation here on the Wolves Esports Twitch channel. Let me and Richard know, have you got a mate that's playing in this bracket? Have you got a friend? Who do you want to see qualify for Wolves this year in the ePremier League? As we said, the exciting thing about this, Rich, I think Wolves may be like the third or fourth club to get their club playoff done, because I think we've had Liverpool done, Brentford have done. There's a lot more coming in the next couple of weeks, so to speak. It'll all be done before sort of January time. But we haven't really seen, again, I guess, everyone that else has qualified. We know that Tex is back at Liverpool again this year. There's going to be hopefully some new faces coming into the tournament as well. So there's a lot still to unfold over the next couple of weeks. I know, for example, a lot of clubs are doing their playoffs sort of day by day at the moment around the World Cup. Yeah,
absolutely. I think, obviously, before Christmas, we'll have all the finalists locked in. They'll be ready to go for the upcoming sort of spring tournament, which it's going to be in the end of March. So I'm looking forward to seeing that finalised list, but Wolves having their players locked in, ready to go in the first couple of days of December will be a bonus. They'll sort of, whether it's content that Wolves want to share, whether it's getting more practice in, whether it's getting used to these Premier League squads, there's no harm in getting these players in ready early and then having months to prepare.
No, absolutely. As we said, well, I think we are near enough ready to get going in our games today. Hopefully Xbox will kick off just before that PlayStation side, as we said. A massive thank you as well to everyone for tuning in today, for following the action here. Losers finals are officially underway. Let's see who can pull through. Over on the Xbox side of the bracket, we'll confirm those EPL 04 and EPL 03s for you. Right now, Big Bear 16, kicking from right to left in that home strip of Wolves in the away strip. Will be Linas from left to right. Really nicely is Salah. One more pass round the corner. It's clever from Cristiano Ronaldo. How big is it going to be, Rich, for Big Bear to come back flying after, some would argue, quite the humbling defeat?
Short-term memory is a great thing in FIFA Esports. Having that sort of just write-off ability. You probably take into consideration when it goes to 4, you constant press, you throw numbers forward, and it can look like an ugly scoreline, even if the result you feel as though didn't particularly go that way. So you just have to get over it, move forward. It's a new game, it's a new matchup, and hopefully you've got in the back of your mind that you want revenge. He'll be thinking about that defeat that he suffered to Joey Sharp, Will Big Bear, and wanting to go again.
Well, speaking of ultimate revenge, Richard, that was something that happened on the side of Linas. After losing to Big Bear 5-4, these two did match up in the winners bracket round 1. They won 10-2 in a knockout game against Farnick. The perfect reply, netting in 10 goals. The question is, has Big Bear got his number for a second time this afternoon? Where's there going to be? No. Turn around here. Referee waves that one away. Into the first time. We'll just jump into the pause menu, not into the tactics, but you can just see the lay of the land, Richard. 4-2-2 with a starting formation. Just a look at what will be most of those teams there. 4-2-2, as you see, there's no sort of, second guessing who's going to be that midfield pairing of Yaya Touré and Hullet. I'm just trying to think, where are the main changes in a lot of these teams if you had to sort of compare 11 to 11?
In formation, in particular, whether you're playing with 4 going forward, or you're playing with a flat 3. Some players will use potentially that 4-3-2-1. Then you're maybe using Heung-min Son as a centre mid, whether it could be Mohamed Salah as a centre mid. In the final third, it's going to be Cristiano Ronaldo, rule breakers, and David Ginola. It's then the +1. Who is that extra player? Is it Eric Cantona? We've seen maybe a Samuel Eto'o involved in the final third also. So there is creativity, and then there's the centre-back next to Patrick Vieira. Everyone's using Vieira at centre-back. Who is the centre-back next to him? Virgil van Dijk or Koulibaly?
Frantic start to this game. And that's not really had a chance to get going. You could argue that he has had to sit out for an hour or so to get back underway. I'm sure in that time he would have been playing a couple of practice games or Champions games just to keep him on the pulse. This is his first sniff at goal. Can't find a way through. Any minute now, we should be seeing that PlayStation game kick off. We'll jump to it when it does. Looking forward to seeing Rigami in action today in that loser final. Will be taken on Broomy, as we said, who conceded in the 84th minute to Erling Haaland. Fortunately, it was just all a little bit too late to find a way back into the tie. Here's Ginola. The Big Bear times it green, but it doesn't even hit the target.
Deserves a goal. He deserves a goal. Time green, David Ginola, left foot, no man in front of him, no pressure on the ball. Sometimes you just have to ask, is it my day? Yeah, Touré. Son back to goal. Linas
struggling to really get going in the 30 minutes. Does make things so interesting that they had such a tightly contested match earlier today. Here's Mohamed Salah, Brigami. Has just kicked off in his game. Big bet. On the hunt for a way through Steel Hullet. Nice little La Croqueta, and with that in mind, we can jump over to that PlayStation game. There is a goal in it. We'll try and show you it if we can. Which way has that goal gone? Hullet. Here's Linas. Salah finds Cristiano Ronaldo. The build-up was right. The defending was even better.
Mistake at the back, though. Big Bear once again turning over possession. And Linas comes forward yet again.
Son down the byline, causing all sorts of problems. Brilliant feet. Wants to go on his own. How has that got in? How on earth has that found its way into the back of the net as we leave that game?
I don't want to see it again. Let me wipe that goal straight from my memory. I don't want to see it. I'll pretend it didn't happen.
Speaking of this game, it's on the PlayStation. And there has been a goal if you are a Brigami fan, unfortunately. He's 1-0 down in this one. Brumi leads by a goal to nil. But, I mean, I knew Son wanted to score that goal, Rich, on his own, but not literally like that. He just pushed it into the goal. Or maybe Van der Sar did.
It's one of those goals that I think the less said about it, the better.
Especially, you can argue that Big Bear was just so on top as well in those opening 30 minutes. To concede that, I think
it'd be a real momentum killer.
Yeah, we've all been there as a FIFA player to experience the annoyance of a little bit of hard luck. 30 minutes gone in this game. Remember, all the games played over 2 legs with an aggregate scoreline. Loser of this is out of the club playoff. They will not be playing in the Premier League this year. The winner will go through to the grand final. But remember, they have to force a bracket reset. They are coming from the lower bracket. We'll speak more about that when the time is right. But it certainly could be a storyline for today, Richard.
Yeah, it certainly could be. I think it's just so hard to do. It's so hard to come from that loser's bracket and turn it around. Of how much of a marathon it is. You win one set of games and then you've got to reset again and do it fresh.
This game is a little bit quiet. Let's go back next door to the Esports game. Here it's in a pause at the moment. As soon as it's out of that pause, we'll check into it before half time. Brigami was on the hunt there. He's got about 8 minutes left to find a goal. And as this one's underway for a second half, it's all to do for Big Bet. Currently 1-0 down in this game. It's a ridiculous amount of misfortune. It could be 2-0 down. Son, dangerous area, cutback available. And somehow completely off target.
There's been some crazy misses today. There's been some real strange happenings. The damage in all the green times, the cutback, you expect the back of the net to be rustling there. I think it's going to really come down to keeping your composure, keeping your cool. Whoever can do that the best on their respective brackets, you imagine will find themselves victorious.
Oh, that's clever. Linus for two, maybe. Didn't really need to cut back inside, but on that occasion, Hullet just not getting it right. Cancelo. Completely out of position there, looking to get back into position now. We just had confirmation half-time in the other game, if you were wondering. Still Brumi leads by a goal to nil in that one. Against Brigami. It's on the PlayStation, keep in mind. The winner of the PlayStation will face Kai, and the winner of the Xbox will face Joey Sharp in the grand finals. One ball over the top. Done that a few times, hasn't he, Cancelo? Just making that run. Just offering that extra option.
Just seeing the space potentially opening up as well. The over the top through balls, really, really pivotal. It's a strong mechanic this year in FIFA. You can get it to drop nicely. Players like CR7 or David Ginola find themselves typically being the favourites up against defenders.
Especially with the recent patch change as well, Rich. How's that going to affect in terms of just those duels of Van Dijk against a Cantona or Koulibaly against Cristiano Ronaldo?
I think having Vieira at the back sort of helps those duels, doesn't he? He's what, 6'4", pacey, strong, can defend, can get a foot in for you.
Nice build up here. Sorry to cut you off there, Rich. Let's jump back over to the other game. Not yet, because there's just been there should have been a goal in this game. Big Bear must be just scratching his head thinking, what more do I have to do to find a way back into this game?
I don't know if the near post shot was the way to go. I'll be honest. I think the potential of a Trivela outside of the right boot with Yaya Toure as the keeper unrushed onto him could have been a better option.
You may have just seen us quickly have a snippet of that game before it went into the pause menu. It's still 1-0 in that one.
There's a message from Alan Roach. That's Alan Roach. Please can you come to reception? Your wife is waiting for you. Thank you.
15 minutes left in these first legs. Lina still leads by a goal to nil over here. Lucky enough for Big Bear, there is a second leg to play still. Yeah, Toure. Ronaldo gets easy pickings on that one. Fortunate with the bounce back. Turns his man, maybe well. Ginola, it's a give! Linas makes it two!
David Ginola just wriggling away from the defender, wasn't he? Right place, right time. Big Bear just couldn't quite get a hold of him. And in the end, he made it look a real simple finish.
Let's jump back across. We hear there's been a goal over on the PlayStation. And it is 2-0. Brumi does lead. Brigami, we were looking forward to seeing his first appearance on the broadcast today. It hasn't gone to plan so far. As we said, lucky enough, there is still a second leg in this game. Big Bet. Good chance. I think what's key here, Richard, is that Big Bet, obviously, goes without saying, does not concede again, because we saw in that Joey Sharp game when he conceded, 2 or 3 of the game just started to slip away from him a little bit.
Well, the game just runs away from you when you find yourself having to chase. It's a real tough place to be. With the constant press this year, it is doable. and you can find yourself back into games. However, it's not a nice place to be going into the second leg. 2-1 in our PlayStation final here.
And this is it live now. There is a goal back in it. Brigami back in the tie. Maybe with a second goal here. Oh, wow, Cristiano Ronaldo. Coming so close again. We're doing our best, people. We don't want to give away any of those custom tactics and changes that any of the players are making it.
Could be a third. He's in behind. Ooh.
Well, all time here. Remember, this is only part 1 of 2 of the story here in this loser final. Loser of this tournament is out of the club playoff this year for Wolves. And they will be falling out of the ePremier League, Richard. But 2-0 on one side. There is still time. But as we said, you've just got to keep his head, Big Bear. Big Bear's going to be feeling this because he's just lost quite heavily to Joey Sharp in that winners' final. Had to come back and reset himself. Conceded a really unfortunate goal. Hit the post. That could have made it 1-1. And now comes out of a leg where he probably feels like he should have had something in the game, Richard. 2-0 down.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I also think he had to just be very careful at the end of the game because 2-0 is a quite comfortable scoreline to overturn. If it would have gone 3 or 4, then we start to think this isn't particularly a happy scenario for Big Bear. So I think 2-0, you can take things out of that game. You can take positives out of it. If you're losing 3 or 4, it's a much harder pill to swallow.
Last 15 minutes here. Is there going to be another goal? Samuel Eto'o, lovely cutback. Oh, well played. Really nice FIFA from Brumi. He makes it 3-1 and might be leaving this first leg with a 2-goal cushion. Well and truly restocked.
Great work down the line. Samuel Eto'o cutting it back. It wasn't particularly to a man, just in a really dangerous area. And who did it find? The man that we were talking about earlier. One to watch, Anthony off the bench. Right place, right time to slot home. 2-goal cushion reinstated for Brumi.
Correct if I'm wrong. I think the 2 super subs as well that just came off the bench for Brumi, making the all-important difference there. We said watch out for ones to watch. Anthony. Anthony was able to squeeze that one into the back of the net. 2-goal cushion. Brigami might have had a good outing in that recent E-Champions League qualifier, but needs to start showing it now. Awful touch there from Cristiano Ronaldo. Expect so much better from him. Running race at the back. Samuel Eto'o hasn't quite got the pace there to get past Vieira. I mean, Song does have pace though to get past Carl Walker. Maybe 1 defender, 2 defender, 3 defender. Ronaldo reversal. That's the car. What a finish!
We saw it earlier that Brigami had that little bit of creative genius in the final third. The reversal last goal from CR7 forced the save. This one, nothing the goalkeeper can do whatsoever about that.
What that does though, Richard, that just only makes it a 1-goal gap for that second leg, which in FIFA terms is absolutely nothing. Added time of 1 minute. 2 occasions, Brigami has found himself down by 2 goals. He's come back fights, he could be on for an equaliser it. Or not, that will do us for half-time. In this game, Brigami might be trailing, but it's only by a goal now. Brumi leading the tie 3-2. Still a lot more to come in these, Rich, as they are only at the halfway point in the 2 legs here. Winner of these games, remember, will go straight through to the grand final for a chance to get a spot at the ePremier League this year for Wolves.
And if our winners bracket finals showed us absolutely anything, it's that the second legs will potentially explode into life. It will show us something that we've not seen in the first leg, whether that's more goals, whether that's a higher tempo to the game, or potentially more errors coming out of the two players. We'll just have to wait and see. But again, I feel like a little bit of a broken record. Perfectly poised second legs.
No, absolutely. Well, let's have a look at the brackets quickly while we are waiting for these second legs to get underway. Just to tell you the story, which we did tease you. Remember, a win here will only take you to the grand final. It won't take you to the Premier League as of yet. Kicking off first and foremost with the Xbox bracket first. Remember that Joey Sharp has been on absolute fire on the upper bracket side. 11-2 win, 6-1 win. The winner of this will play against Joey Sharp. It could be a rematch for Big Bear to get things right on a second time of asking in the best possible way, which would force a bracket reset. On the flip side, he is currently trailing 2-0 against Linas. All to do there with still so much to unfold. Over on the PlayStation side, Richard, what is the storyline there?
Yeah, it's a storyline that's currently evolving. Kai Harris is in the grand final. You can see his results right there, beating CH Pokey and FIFA, and Broomy scoring 4 goals in both games. In the lower bracket, it is Broomy who suffered the defeat to Kai, and also Brig Army. These two matched earlier in the tournament, Broomy winning 6-4. He has a slight advantage going into the second leg, but it really is all up for grabs with a date with Kai in the grand final.
Yeah, and if it's your first time watching anything in terms of ePremier League-esque broadcast, then the overview of the Premier League looks a little bit like this. As we said, we are currently in the club playoff stage. We're in the middle stages now of the Premier League. We'll be finding 2 players from every single Premier League club, from Wolves to Man City to Brighton and so forth, to go and compete next March the 25th and 26th in the Premier League finals. It's live on TV, live all around the world, and it's live in London for those 2 days next year. We hear the games are ready for the second leg over on the Xbox. Let's jump into it right now, where there has been a goal in form. And I think it's gone the way of Big Bear, finally.
Yeah, back in the game. He just hit the post. I think we saw as we joined the matchup. It's taken him 4 minutes to half that deficit and potentially fire his way back into this tie.
The start he needed, though. Big Bear 16 had no luck. Could be a chance. Oh, wow. Linas. 2 goals in 10 minutes. He reinstates his 2-goal cushion.
Just so calm inside the box. There wasn't particularly a lot of right stick movement coming out, but just a little bit of slow dribbling, a little bit of calmness inside the box, and that green time finish, firing it past the goalkeeper. This is the PlayStation matchup that is live underway right now. 3-2. Broomy does lead against Brig Army.
Still so much up for grabs in this one right now. Remember, lose this, you are out the tournament.
No, I really do think when you look at these two individual finals, how do the players mentally try and break them down? If you've gone in with a lead, are you trying potentially for a possession style of game? Are you looking to keep hold of the ball and frustrate your opponents? If you're trailing, how long do you leave it before you start to open up and go to a more pressing style of play, throw more attackers on, throw more bodies higher up the pitch? These will be the questions that are pottering over inside the players' minds as they come into arguably one of the biggest games that they've had in this calendar year of FIFA. Eric Cantona can't do much, as once again a good defensive performance from Broomy it's been so far. Floater ball over the top. Patrick Vieira says no thank you to David Ginola and simply throws him to the floor. We do have a goal in the other matchup. And what a goal it is. Linas extending his lead to 4-1. Heung-min Son potentially firing that game out of sight for Big Bear.
Yeah, what a turnaround. What a turnaround for Linas. Not in terms of the scoreline, because don't worry, he was always leading that game, but he never looked like he was at the races for quite some period in it. Now the 3-goal cushion, unfortunately. It might look like an afternoon to remember for Big Bear on the flip side. It is Broomy. Oh, I shouldn't say Broomy, it's Big Army. With an unbelievable start in this game. He was 2 goals down on 2 different occasions in the tie. But it's taken him under just 20 minutes to find his form, find his rhythm, and to bring this game all back square to 3-3. Game on here.
That's all he needed. He said he just needed a little bit of confidence, and he picked that up from the goal that he scored right at the end of the first leg. As Rio Ferdinand gets the shout at the back, alongside Patrick Vieira.
Interesting shout, isn't it? No Virgil van Dijk, no Koulibaly gets the nod. As we said, you know, these are players, Rich, that have been through enough FIFA matches, rival matches, online qualification games in this playoffs. Online playoffs, online qualifiers, I should say, for Wolves. The journey that started a couple of months ago. Now for getting to this stage, they are honoured to use a special esports account where they can basically use any Premier League player they want, just for today. There has been a goal over here, and it's gone the way of Big Bear, who finds a way back into the tie. I mean, this isn't done yet. 2 goals, 30 minutes on the clock. There's still a lot of time to be played in that one.
There certainly is, and as I was saying before, the mental gymnastics. When do you throw bodies forward? If you're trailing by 2 goals with 20 minutes left to play, 30 minutes left to play, when do the shackles really come off? The question that Big Bear will be asking. But he's doing well so far.
Well, there's been another goal. We're getting all the goals. Unfortunately, Big Bear, as much as he's trying to get back into the tie, Linas is just doing his absolute best to make it an arm's length or a reach too far. As it's a 3-goal cushion that has been reinstated again.
Keeping him out of the way, isn't he? Travella!
Mohamed Salah! That's what he can do from those sort of areas. That's why he's on that left-hand side.
Thought for a second that was going to fly into the back of the net.
This one might fly into the back of the net though from David Ginola. Richard on the half volley. What a save from Petr. Got a few different changes in this team, hasn't he? No Edwin van der Sar. No Virgil van Dijk. No Koulibaly. Petr and Rio Ferdinand.
Yeah, Petr, who happens to have a look of Peter Schmeichel in goal. But it doesn't matter, he saves it nonetheless.
Salah going to come forward. There's been a goal in the other game. Which way has it gone for Big Bear? No, it's Linas who's just finding his second gear. He may have lost his first and opening game in the winners' bracket to get down to the loser side, but he won that 10-2. He's got goals in him, and we're seeing it right now on display.
And maybe getting a little bit of revenge for Big Bear beating him 5-4 earlier in the tournament. Linas wants to represent Wolverhampton Wanderers like he has done in previous ePremier League iterations. And he's going the right way about it. A matchup with Joey Sharp seems on the cards. Linas versus Joey Sharp in the grand final.
Half time in this one between Broomy and Brigami. We are all square. This one's more tighter. of the two in this one. 3-3 the score. But what a game that is. We pretty much can confirm if the score does stay the same, there will be another representative for Wolves, or a re-representative for Wolves that is representing the club for a second time. It could be Joey Sharp or it could be Linas, if that game, of course, does stay in the same scenario right now. But I mean, Rich, that's potentially one hell of a grand final, which maybe it could bracket reset. Who knows?
Yeah, I mean, look, Linas is certainly doable and capable of beating Joey Sharp. Whether he can beat him over two separate best-of-2 matches is a really big question, because, look, it's rare that would happen. The game in focus that we're going to keep our eyes peeled on, it's a great one. It's Brumi against Brig Army. It's all square, and this is where our attention will be.
Yeah, it's over on the PlayStation. You could argue that Brig Army might have just been able to grab a clinch on this game, only because he was 2-0 down on two different occasions in the scoreline. He was 2-0 down, then he went 3-1 down. I think you're right, Richard. The timing of his goal in that first leg in the 89th minute, we're giving him the confidence all he needs. Mohamed Salah, can he put the perfect ball across the box? Finds Ginola, takes a deflection. It was Brumi, and still is Brumi with a corner. Mohamed Salah towards the back post. Vieira's there. Lucky enough, so is David Ginola on that time of asking. Dispossessed. Has to make the most of this again. Gets away if it does. Brig Army, well played there.
Yeah, good manual switch there as well. I think probably a right stick onto Rio Ferdinand just to step out as the ball tried to come across the box. Small margins will separate these two.
Ronaldo must have bundled his way past Koulibaly there. What's that run of Ronaldo? And the last man doesn't need him, goes for Salah instead. Brumi looks for the cutback. Oh my! How is that gone in? He's off the right boot.
I think it might have got a deflection on the way through off Patrick Vieira.
I think he did. I think he tried to cross it back in.
And it's taken a wicked deflection off of Vieira and just spiralled under the goalkeeper with ridiculous pace on the ball.
We'll have to see that one back on a replay, but we've seen two very interesting goals today. If that one's one that knocks you out of the tournament, no doubt you are going to be feeling very hard done by. Back to the drawing board for Brig Army there, who does trail 4-3 against Brumi. Let's jump back over the PlayStation again. This one, as we said, is the much more tighter matchup. Brig Army 4-3 down. Whoever loses this is out of the club playoff this year and will not be going to the ePremier League to represent Wolves. Into a pause menu we go again. I believe both games are nearing a pause. This game is still underway. Ball in possession. This is Big Bear trailing 6-2. The hands of Linas, past ePremier League grand finalist, as we have touched upon a few times tonight already. Look at another one. Yes, 7-2. And unfortunately, there's no way back in that one. There could be a way back in this one. What's a save? Van der Sar stopping Ruud Gullit from equalising the game at 4-4.
Big chance. Just whipped in. I think it looked like a bit of a German cross. coming in off that right-hand side. Rude Hullet found himself in acres of space, but quick goalkeeping to come out and close down the angle.
Hullet. Ginola in a tussle with Koulibaly. Simon is the Senegal defender that comes out on top, still knocking on the door. Is Brigami still trying to find a way back in the tie? Bit of panic there from Rooney and Kyle Walker. Hullet. Yaya Toure. Again, Koulibaly involved in everything at the back there, so it seems. Must be a very pressured feeling this, Rich. You're 20 minutes away from a grand final and it's getting so close to an ePremier League outing. Maybe your first ever one if you broom it.
Just the pressure, isn't it? Just that added layer that you know what's on the line, you know what's coming up if you win this game.
Haaland pretty much just does his job there of being a hold-up man. 5 more minutes taken out the game. Done. Haaland might have all the pace in the world, but will just out this left-hand side. CR7 drops the shoulder. Still not fully dealt with. Back to goal. Son will try and turn his man. And Cello there just taking some of that pressure out the shot. I know, not to be really any danger for Van der Sar. Might be able to check back across the Xbox game. Very briefly. And we'll catch the last moments here. There could be a chance now to conclude the tie, make it 5-3. Look at the numbers, look at the space. Ginola around the goalkeeper. Should be an easy tap in, it will be.
That could be the decisive blow. 5-3. Anthony wheels away in celebration. And what have we got? 7 minutes left on the clock.
It's a 2-goal cushion. We'll catch the last sort of kick of that game when we can. But for now, we're checking it. To be honest, I think it could be all said and done over here as well. Linas, after a disappointing start, as we said, in the winners' bracket, it's looking like he's had 2 impressive wins, Rich. 10-2 in the first loser bracket round, and it's losers final. 7-2. He currently leads with just under 15 minutes left on the clock.
Yeah, I mean, look, the 2 losers bracket finals have gave us some incredible games. This one-sided affair, Linas just pulling out in the end. 7 goals in the second leg as well, we have to say.
Yeah, not bad going, is it? 7 goals in one leg of FIFA. Let's catch the winning moment over on the PlayStation. It looks as if it's going the way of Brumi. We hear there's a pause in that game. Last couple of changes and last real roll of the dice from Brigami. And I think we just got a full-time result come in there from Brumi. 5-3 winner. Just saw a message come through in our broadcast Discord. There's a full-time result there. Brigami, unfortunately, crashes out of the club playoff here for the 2022-23 ePremier League season for Wolves. And that is a final in the books there, Richard. Brumi will be taking on Kai for a second time tonight.
I really do think that as we start to see these games finalise, as the advantage going to potentially the winners bracket finalists, not only with the no bracket reset clause, you could say, but also, I mean, the fact that you've been there before, you've already defeated that person.
And there's another full-time for you as well. We'll see Linas go through to the grand final tonight over on the Xbox. What a final that one plans to be. Out of the two finals, that one just got me a little bit more excited. Joey Sharp against Linas, two players that seemingly love to score goals, Richard. 17 Linas has put away in the last two rounds, and Joey Sharp, I think, like, was it 11 in first round, and then plenty more in the second round as well. That one hopefully will be full of goals. But the storyline is this, Rich: we are near enough in the grand finals now. PlayStation, Xbox bracket resets can happen, and they will need to happen if those players from the lower bracket want to cause an upset, such as Linas and Brumi. But if it's more of the same from the likes of Kai and Joey that have stayed on the upper side of the bracket, that it's going to be pretty plain sailing. But it won't be plain sailing in these finals, we can assure you of that.
No, it absolutely won't be. I think when we look at what we've seen so far today in the 2 hours that we've been live, taking it from the winners bracket all the way down to the losers, now into the grand finals, it's where the second leg of matches, that's where results have turned. That's where results have been sort of taken out of your opponent's hands, where real wide scoring goal difference margins have been formed. So potentially, are we going to see the same in that second leg, or will it be a quick start? Will it be a frantic final potentially for one of the four players?
No, absolutely. Well, we are going to go to a quick break now to get ready for these grand finals. But when we are back, it's Xbox, PlayStation grand finals, both of them coming thick and fast to find out who will be the two representatives for Wolves in the 2022-23 ePremier League season. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back in a few minutes' time. Well, welcome back to the ePremier League Club Playoffs with Wolves. We are near the end stages of today's broadcast. Myself, Brandon Smith and Richard Buckley guiding you through this club playoff today to find out who will be Wolves' two representatives in the ePremier League. Rich, 100 signed up through qualifiers, multiple online qualifiers to get to tonight's stage. We are now with just 4 players left, 2 on the Xbox, 2 on the PlayStation, and what 2 incredible grand finals we should have coming up next.
Yeah, I think we've got 2 really, really competitive grand finals. I think in a number of the clubs, so when you look at potentially who's going to be progressing through and you start to pick out some of the favourites, there's a definite favourite in a majority of the clubs, someone who you think they're one of my picks, they're who I think would go through. I think both of these 2 grand finals are maybe 55-45, maybe 60-40 going into it, in terms of the percentage of who might pick up a victory, who might go through. I really, really do think that it's a little bit of a pick-em, both of our grand finals.
Let's have a little look at the brackets, Rich, to reset our memory and to re-jog our memory for those at home that may have been following tonight's journey. Why this grand final in particular for me is so special on the Xbox. We have got 2 former representatives as Wolves going head-to-head in the grand final. We've got the 2022, just last year, Joey Sharp, who represented Wolves, looking to go back-to-back on the Xbox as their representatives of the Wolf Pack. But Linas did represent Wolves back in 2020, a few years back now, back hungry for more on FIFA 23. And with the goals they've both been scoring, look across all their matches they've played, Richard, you've got to say, this has got to be full of goals, or it should be at least.
It should be. If we're not to be disappointed, there should be plenty of goals in this matchup. On the PlayStation Club Playoff bracket, it's been a great story. We can have a look at the PlayStation bracket as well, because it's been all about Kai Harris, aka Kai FIFA. He won 4-1, and then he beat the man who is playing now in the grand final, Broomy, 4-3. It was a great game. It was an extra time winning goal from Kai to set up this match that we're going to watch right now between Kai and Broomy. Whoever wins, whether it's Kai, Broomy on the PlayStation or on the Xbox, it's Joey or Linus, they will be your official Wolverhampton Wanderers ePremier League finalists, and they will be going to the ePremier League Grand Finals in March to represent Wolves.
Just to explain, Richard, because there is the chance that a bracket reset could happen for those at home that might not have any idea what that means. Please explain it.
Yeah, so the 2 players who have come down from the losers side of it, from the elimination side, whatever you want to call it, they're at a disadvantage. So when you look at both Broomy coming from the losers final, beating Brig Army, then on the Xbox side of things, Linas, they have to win 1 series of FIFA, so they've got to beat Joey Sharp or Kai respectively 1 time, whether that's 2 legs, whether it's a penalty shootout, whether it's a 10-goal victory. They have to win that game. That doesn't mean they are the winner. That doesn't mean they are the champion. They then have to play again. So to be eliminated, very basic for you as we get into this game, to be eliminated from the tournament, you have to lose twice. You have to lose 2 matches. You're allowed to lose 2 matches, whether that's in round 1 or whether that's in the grand final.
Well, Rich, should we get our finals underway? I think we should. I think it's Xbox that has kicked off first and foremost. And then we'll see Joey Sharp up against Linas. 2 former representatives of Wolves looking to represent the club again in next year's ePremier League. As we said, Joey Sharp kicking from left to right in that home strip of Wolves, and from right to left, Linas looking to start this final off in the better of ways. It's so important he does, Richard, because he needs to go the long way around this, as you said, and he needs to force the bracket reset.
It certainly does. It's a marathon for Linas. I think for Joey, it's sort of a different style of game, because you can sprint to a lead. If you can go 1-2-0 up, as he just has right there through Eric Cantona, you can set this game out and you can set your stall out for a real comfortable second leg performance.
Well, Joey Sharp again coming in clutch. That's goal 18 he scored tonight. Doesn't concede many of them, but when it comes to scoring, he's been on a wild goal scoring form. No goal drought round here in the Premier League club playoffs for him. We said it was going to be a long road for Linas, but it was so important that he has to come out flying in this leg. He cannot let Joey Sharp play as he has throughout this qualifier so far. AK scoring lots of goals against you, making the gap just too big to chase. Otherwise, this one could be done in a matter of matches. Joey Sharp looking for his second. Yaya Toure might be the man to do that. Nice reverse elastico there from David Ginola, looking to build in nicely. Joey Sharp for a second. Well played, Petr Cech, who just calms that one down.
I think you chose your words there, Brandon, real nicely. Calm down. I think you just the calming almost of this final. It's been a real frantic start. It's been a energetic opening 15 minutes. I expect to see it sort of settle and play to a more chess match-esque approach from both of these two players.
Bullet finds Ginola. Linas looking for that all-important equaliser. Ronaldo turned the wrong way in hindsight. We've had so much space. We just went with the right foot. "20 minutes played here. We believe when this clock hits 25 minutes, we will kick off the PlayStation Grand Final as well. So we'll have both games kicking off at the same time, pretty much. We'll be jumping across both matches to give you the latest on what is happening across both Grand Finals, which means so much. Chance to go to London next year, 25th and 26th of May, to the ePremier League. Some players, their first chance at first ever, FIFA LAN event. It's the UK's biggest chance to play for a Premier League football club. And for a lump sum of cash. Here's Heung-min Son now. Great feet. Looking to build ever so nicely. Can't get past Yaya Toure, who has just been a brick wall at the back alongside Hullet throughout all of these games today. They literally are the perfect two in the midfield. Comes Joey Sharp again. What a ball that could be into Cristiano Ronaldo. Kyle Walker. Right place, right time, just to touch the one back to the goalkeeper and just to de-stress that situation. Still 1 goal to need. 1 goal to nil. Joey Sharp does lead as our PlayStation Grand Final. It's just about to kick off. I want a rematch between Brumi and Kai Harris. And would be the ultimate revenge as well, Rich, if he was to turn it around, because it would be in a bracket reset and technically they'd have to beat him twice.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think the possession stat coming up in the top left there, just to further on my point, he's only had 34% of the ball, 36% of the ball it might have been, has Joey Sharp, but he plays so direct. He's not really that interested in playing 6-7 passes to try and interlink play. If he sees an opportunity, whether it's an over-the-top through ball, whether it's a cross into Cristiano Ronaldo or David Ginola making a run in behind, he's happy to just play it straight away and turn defence into attack.
Could be a chance. Cristiano Ronaldo! Easy pickings for a man that you just simply cannot give a sniff around the box. And just like that, Linas will pull this game all square. He might be on for a second. Pretty sharp. I want to see that one back in a hurry. Look at the space, by the way. Ronaldo's in a running race. Can he be through? Cristiano Ronaldo, just the goalkeeper to be. It's a gift.
What a truly, truly crazy game. There was down one end, Joey Sharp is giving the ball away a couple of times. Quite sort of poor goalkeeper clearances. Linas, he scored already from a bad clearance. He nearly got a second. And then one bad mistake at the back, one flick-on header. Ronaldo is in with an entire half of grass in front of him.
Linas. That looking again. But yeah, you're right. It's just like the two centre-backs split. Could be seeing the exact same issue happen again. David Ginola He's in front of Carl Walker. Had to pull that one back ever so slightly around the goalkeeper. Not that time. Half-time hit. Joey leads Linas by 2-1. And as that game is at half-time, we hear the PlayStation first leg is also about to kick off now. A little bit of a delayed start, but again, we want to give you both those big match-winning moments at the perfect timings there, Ridge. But yeah, looking back on it, no idea what happened there. Not Joey's defence, Linas' defence, 2 centre-backs split, and it was just a case of Ronaldo, get your head down and run.
0.9 XG combined between the two players, and we've seen 3 goals. Talk about overperforming the XG stat.
We'll have to see what more that XG stat has to give us across what is still to come. This is your PlayStation Grand Final. Now, this is between Kai and Brumi. Kai kicking from left to right. He did represent the club last year, remember, teaming up with Joey Sharp. Brumi, though, looking to get revenge after suffering a defeat, 4-3. A very narrow defeat it was in the winners' final. Finally gets his rematch via going through the lower bracket. Son, in it goes, headed away. We hear there's been another goal in the Xbox game. Which way has it gone? By the looks of it, it was Joey Sharp with an unbelievable start to the second half of play here. Ginola finds CR7 outside the boot, easy as you like. And CR7 bags another goal in that one.
I mean, these grand finals have been so entertaining. Just the end-to-end affairs that are transpiring here. Could be in over the top.
Massive save, and the up. What gift that could have been for Kai. We did expect goals, though, in the Xbox One. We have had that so far. PlayStation bracket has been a lot more tight across all of the games today. Whipped into the box from Cancella there, trying to find the ongoing run of Yaya Toure. He made quite the darting run from CDM to centre forward. This game is starting just to unfold ever so slow. Let's go back over to the Xbox, where we should be approaching the last half an hour of the first leg. Remember, the storyline is this. If Joey Sharp does it in 2, aka these 2 first legs, he will be representing Wolves in the ePremier League. Linas has to force a bracket reset, which means he has to win this 2-legged game of FIFA and then another series of matches. And that's because he dropped down into the loser bracket earlier today. Linas moves back instead of going forward with David Ginola. Quite believe he'd have got the space there to cause a real impact. This could be a gift. One more pass, surely, yes! Linas back in the game again. 22 minutes left on the clock. And certainly shapes it up to be an exciting last 22.
Just been a couple of lapses of concentration, a couple of mistakes almost. In around the back. I'm sure he'll watch it back. The footage, if he is to be successful, Joey, and think, oh, it could have been a simpler affair. Linas, on the other hand, so much confidence now going forward. Another mistake out the back.
Surely to make it 3-3. Cristiano Ronaldo, what a tackle at the back there from Carl Walker. From right back to left back, pretty much, with the biggest of clutch tackles. Into the pause menu, that one will go just for a breather from both of those two. Half an hour gone here. Goalless so far.
The onside?
This could be something, though. Is he on? No, he's not.
just a couple of seconds off, wasn't he? A couple of millimetres, Heung-min Son.
This could be a chance for Heung-min Son. It's a running race. Left back's out of the equation. Vieira's had to come across, or at least think about it. Heung-min Son! Like a rocket! Into the top corner.
Get your head down, put your laces through it, and give it a green time for good measure. Heung-min Son, the player lock fake was really nice, and a great strike. And Salah comes down the other end, but he can only hit the post.
Let's jump back across to get over the Xbox. When more has happened, and it's gone the way of Linas. The pressure has continued to build, but for how much longer? Oh, wow. All read there by Petr. Very sharp. We'll square it 3-3, Linas. Back in this time. Remember, he has to go the long way with a bracket reset. He wants to represent Wolves in the ePremier League this year. Adama. Surely. Hullet with a gift! And again! Jummy shot. We'll go back in front. 7 goals we've seen in this one. We said there would be goals between these two.
Yeah, it's not disappointing at all, is it? It looked a weird strike, that from Ruud Hullet. I'm not too sure if it got a deflection maybe on the way through, but it found its way into the back of the net, and at the end of the day, that is all that matters.
Not the last for too long. Linas! Oh, wow! 8 goals, evenly split.
I'm not too sure what Virgil van Dijk's doing on that one. Tried heading it back or cushioning it back to the goalkeeper. Ended up doing sort of a bicycle kick. Scissor kick, almost trying to put it back to the keeper. 4-4, one leg of FIFA. We've got a second leg to come.
Salah tries to outsmart João Cancelo on that time, but I absolutely love this game. What a final it is. It's literally I attack, you attack. We get about pretty defended. Just a quick update on the PlayStation game for those that are wondering. It's half-time in the first leg there. Kai does lead that game still by a goal. So now remember that Kai can do it in 2 and re-qualify for the Premier League this year. It would be Broomy that has to force a bracket reset and go the long way around. Last minute of this one, plus added time. Maybe enough time just to have one more attack, maybe. Not the way of Joey Sharp, though. Looks to be going the way of Linas. Long ball forward. What a ball that is! Oh, it was clever. And Van der Sar just timed that one right, just to snatch the ball.
I mean,
set the mids. Feet, who's been here, there, and everywhere. He's loved making that run. Into the box every single time.
What an incredible, truly incredible first leg of FIFA that is. 4-4, both players just throwing everything at each other. Entertainment value off the scales.
As we said, that is half time in that game. 4-4. As soon as it kicks off for the second leg, we'll jump back into it. Both these games at such different speeds, aren't they?
We said this would be a chess match. It's turning out to live up to the billing.
Oh wow, that's nicely done. Rumi with a golden chance of Heung-min Son to make it 1-1. He timed it red, but gets fortunate with the save from Van der Sar that just falls to the feet of David Ginola, who is never missing from there.
Gets very, very fortunate after the red time finish from Heung-min Son, being sort of rewarded with it being tipped over into a dangerous area from the goalkeeper, David Ginola. Open goal. Always going to take that. Heung-min Son's been pivotal, by the way, for both players in this game. He was the scorer and the assister. Ruud Hullet! Back in front is Kai.
Van der Sar coming so close to keeping that one out. It just trickled in. The right glove was not strong enough from the icon goalkeeper. Well, that German cross that we keep speaking about, that sort of teed run that we keep seeing with a Yaya Toure Ohule, it's just been so influential. Is he onside? Oh, what turn that would have been. What a flick around the corner. Kai leads 2-1. 25 minutes left and all that hard work done from Brumit. Unfortunately, won't mean too much now. Ronaldo. I'm in Son again. That's been the problem. You are absolutely right on that, Richard. For pretty much every player tonight defensively, he's been a worry. Been so much pace off that right-hand side where he has normally been placed. And there has been a goal in the other game. It's just kicked off for the second leg. There might even be a goal here. What a save from Van der Sar. On the Xbox. We get that replay for a split second. There has been a moment over on the Xbox side, and it's gone the way of Joey. This has just kicked off for the second leg. We do apologise, we missed the first few minutes. 5-4. 9 goals in this game. The storyline is this. Joey wins. He goes to the Premier League. Linas wins. It's a bracket reset.
Big rebound needed, but if anyone can do it, it is Linas. Was there ever any doubt that you were going to bring it back into the game at 5-5? 4 minutes. That's all it took.
You score. What a game between these two. Attack, attack, attack. The FIFA that we love to watch. 10 goals in it. And 80 more minutes of in-game time still to play. This game is on a knife edge. No one knows which way it's going to go. No one's really pulled away. Maybe they had a chance to. On to Joey Sharp. Cuts back inside. Ooh. And one goes wide. There's been a goal in the other game. We hear PlayStation. It looks as if it's gone the way of Kai. We here now leads by 3-1. That one still in the first leg though, but nevertheless, Rich, it's a 2-goal cushion for Kai, and I'll give him some confidence.
Yeah, with how that game has also been transpiring, it's been a lot less goal-scoring heavy. It's been more of a midfield battle. So you would think maybe a 2-goal cushion could potentially be enough. A 2-goal cushion will definitely not be enough in this game, however.
What about this guy? This game is swinging. Joey Sharp on the hump for another goal. Cheeky chip, CR7. Nice to flick it on, but Vieira gets there defensively. Just nodded on that a little bit further. It finds a way to João Cancelo. Let's jump across if we can to PlayStation just to see the closing stages of that game. It should be near the end of its first leg. Chance for Brumit, wins a corner. 6 minutes. Left for this one. Remember, there is still a second leg to play, and it's Brumit that's 3-1 down, who must win for a bracket reset to be created. If not, it will be Kai finding his way back to a second consecutive ePremier League grand final. Walker with space and time. Cristiano Ronaldo to maybe add another one onto the tally. Still CR7. Too sure what skill move he was looking for in that instant. Looked a little bit too tight and a bit too rushed.
Yeah, can't quite look for the opportunity. A little offside there. Anthony once again reintroduced onto the pitch for Brumi. Could be a big moment. Koulibaly just about outstrengthening CR7 at the back.
This could be a golden chance. I'm in song. Well played, Virgil van Dijk. And that will do us for the halfway point in this PlayStation final. As it stands, as we said, it will be Kite. Heading towards the ePremier League. He's still got to hold on to that lead, though, for another 90 minutes as we jump into that second leg very shortly indeed. For now, this absolute goal killer. 5-5, evenly split in the Xbox between Joey Sharp and Linas. I don't think anyone can guess which way this game's going to go. Cantona finds Lundberg. Joey Sharp looking for another one. Cristiano Ronaldo will get another one. Mark your tally charts. It's goal number 11 of the game.
It's just that extra pass. You see him sort of apologising there in the celebration. Just fumbled it under the goalkeeper. That low-driven strike. No chance that he can get anywhere near it, really. Great game, though. Really, really good game. Fighting tooth and nail to try and get this spot.
It's fair to say as well, Richard, it's between two players that have got a lot of respect for each other as well.
Yeah, absolutely. And also, defence has just gone out of the window. CR7.
Could be a gift. Oh, he timed it great, did everything right. Just Petr that stood in the way. This could be a gift, though. It will be. You do not make those mistakes in a grand final.
Again, just a mistake at the back. Trying to pass out. Ruud Gullit was quick, like a flash, onto the scene. Passes it across the box for CR7, who slots it away. Nice and easy. 2-goal cushion going into the halfway mark in this second leg.
Well, well, well. What a game that has planned to be. But for the first time, correct if I'm wrong, Rich, we're actually seeing a little bit of a gap.
Yep.
It's not a big one, but it's a little gap there for Joey Sharp at least. The game has been literally I score, you score, I score, you score. But that mistake there for Linas, that could be a bit of a game-changing moment. With only 45 minutes left to play in a game that he has to win for a bracket reset to be created.
It could also be a potential... a moment in the game where now Linas thinks I've got to go for it. Space opens up at the back. At the moment, it's just been both players playing their style, playing their way of play of FIFA. Attack, attack, attack. Now, potentially with a 2-goal cushion, a 2-goal difference between the two sides, we might start to see a couple of changes be implemented and introduced deep into the second half.
No, absolutely. As we said, we will be jumping back into that one as soon as we can. Over on the Xbox. 45 minutes away is Joey Sharp. From representing Wolves in the ePremier League next March. And to be fair, other than this game, he has been defensively pretty sound. He conceded 1 in an earlier round and he conceded 2 before that. This game has been a bit of a different ask. I think clean sheets were ever really in mind when this grand final was proposed.
I mean, when you look at both the records coming into this, you knew it was going to be goals. It could not disappoint. As 7-6 is the scoreline with just over 35 minutes left to play.
The gap closes again. Linas Not giving up, and why should he? 7-6. What a game. 13 goals. It's back on the hunt again for Joey Sharp to try and extend the lead for 2.
We see maybe a little bit of possession coming out here from Joey. Try and kill that clock. It's not the game plan, though. It's not what he's comfortable with.
I think the more you do that, though, isn't it? You get into your own head, and next thing you know, you lose possession, caught a counter-attack, and...
concede, typically.
Looking at a 7-7 scoreline. Oof. And the start. Luckily, getting that one underway. We hear the PlayStation. Second leg is just about to get back underway. Remember the scoreline there. Kai leading 3-1. That could be a cheeky ball over the top. Let's check into the PlayStation game very quickly just to give you the lowdown on that. We'll come back to the Xbox game pretty soon after it, just because that one is near the closing stages compared to this one that's just kicked off here. If Kai can hold on to this lead, he does lead 3-1. He can from right to left in that away strip of Wolves. He will represent Wolves this year in the Premier League. A bracket reset must happen for Broomy. And as we said, needs to turn this game on its head. More updates to come from this one, but for now, let's jump over to the Xbox one, Rich, because
yeah, we've not got that long left.
Certainly got a few more fireworks in it.
We'll also see the conclusion of that PlayStation match, unless we do go to a bracket reset, but Joey Sharp doesn't want that to happen. So close.
It was a really nice move there from Joey Sharp. Just the angle of the shot for Cristiano Ronaldo was, I think, was a little bit too difficult. Couldn't quite get the power and the angle. Squeeze it past the goalkeeper. Linas, though, might be able to find a 7th. Back to PlayStation. There's been a goal. It looks as if it's gone the way of Broomy. Cristiano Ronaldo does so well in those tight angles. He's loved sort of scoring from those sort of angles, cutting in from the right-hand side, finding a ball roll or two and just squeezing it into the left bottom corner.
There's so much time as well.
And not over, Rich. Yeah, there is a lot of time left to play in that one. 70 minutes. 3-2 hit. 7-6 on aggregate. And you wouldn't believe the headlines coming over from PlayStation as well. There's been another goal in that one. And it's gone back the way of Kai, who extends his lead back to 2. Cristiano Ronaldo doing Cristiano Ronaldo things.
Just has to keep that 2-goal cushion intact, does Kai. As soon as it goes to that 1 goal, and then Broomy can start to get a little bit of momentum rattled off, just as Linas is doing here. Put so much pressure on the winning player. Yeah.
So close for Joey Sharp there. It's just over 10 minutes away now. Wolves' very own Adama Traore will come onto the pitch to try and shake things up.
There'll be a chance in this game for Linas to equalise.
Watch that back post. Salah does well. Van der Sar, brave. Had to be. Pause cued again. What is key, Rich? He just does not get that pause. Because Joey will know exactly what is coming at him. Probably in the form of constant press. Everybody forward.
And we're already starting to see a little bit of it now, all the way back to the goalkeeper. Just playing out of the back, wanting to see those minutes tick by. It'll feel like hours.
Has to be so careful though, Richard. We've just seen him there lose possession. 5 more minutes is all he's got to hold on. It's Joey Sharp. Well, look at the press. Traore take more minutes from the clock. He doesn't need another goal. Is he going to go looking for it? Salah, one more pass. Joey Sharp with Erling Haaland might have just put the nail in the coffin and confirmed his spot as an Xbox representative for Wolves in the 22-23 ePremier League finals.
Incredible scenes here at the end of the game. The fans are going wild. Joey Sharp, 8-6 with seconds left on the clock. As Kai FIFA also leads by 2 goals here. The 2 players who got that spot as the invitation by Wolverhampton Wanderers as part of the ePremier League, not having to go through the online qualifiers and the online qualifier playoffs, are a few seconds away from having one of those players pay off in Joey Sharp.
Well, he might not have done much in terms of being on the pitch, Erling Haaland. He scored a few goals on broadcast today, but he might have scored the most important goal of them all. Added time of 1 minute. But this doesn't often happen in the Premier League. Seeing a player consecutively re-qualify for the same club to show that level of loyalty, and that is exactly what Joey Sharp has done. A massive congratulations to him. He will be travelling to London next March to represent Wolves as an Xbox representative in the ePremier League. A massive, massive well done, Joey.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll be catching up with Joey very, very shortly indeed after the culmination of our PlayStation final here. So if you've got any questions that you want to ask young Joey in the chat, let us know. We'll try and get a couple over to him. We will be talking to him very shortly indeed. But our attention's turned back over to the PlayStation because this is far from over, Brandon.
Yeah, far from over. Indeed. 4-2 is the scoreline at half time.
Stokes, everyone's young. Everyone's young. We're young, you're young. It's okay. Don't worry.
But we are going to be speaking to Joe, by the way. That is the plan after this game has concluded. So we will take one question from the chat that's good and ideally PG friendly, and we will be asking Joey if for your own pleasure. So yeah, stay with us for it. He will be joining us on broadcast. Fingers crossed if he would like to, and hopefully have a PlayStation winner joining us as well. For now, back to this one. 45 minutes left to play. Who will be joining Joey in London in the ePremier League? Will it be Kai? I mean, if it is Kai, fair play. The exact same duo from last year's finals.
There's one man who wants to disrupt that, and it's Broomy.
Oh,
Beautiful
wow.
play. Oh, what a goal. Game on.
Cristiano Ronaldo there, just moving and grooving from left to right, making it so difficult for Kai. We didn't need, remember, a bracket reset on the Xbox, but that goal certainly could put us a little bit closer towards one here. Game on.
Yeah, and look, it was a real beautiful bit of creative play inside the box. The skill move combinations and then firing away into the bottom corner. We are back underway. We don't want to give away any of the tactics or instructions here, as I'm sure even the 2 players might even be in this chat themselves, so we want to keep it as fair as possible and don't want to give away any of the secrets of the trade.
There's still so much time left to play in this one. Just under 40 minutes. One thing that Kai's been good at, though, Rich, is when he gets to these moments here of just being in front by a goal, he's been able to just re-extend that lead. We're going to see it now. Nicely done. Finds Kyle Walker. One more pass. Damage and reverse. Elastico was clean. And who knows where that would have gone. Virgil van Dijk didn't get in the way.
Yeah, I'm not too sure if the reverse Elastico was the was a skill to go for there. He just didn't quite get the angle right on the exit of it. Did the skill move into the defender rather than maybe a heel-to-heel or something along those lines, just to create the space to get the strike away. But it's positive signs for Kai here as more space opens up at the back. 30 minutes left to play, and we will be back to us. Plenty of Richard and Brandon on this last game. As we said, we don't want to give away the players'
and just if we can quickly
instructions.
Very, very quickly, check the PlayStation bracket, because there's a storyline here. These two matched up earlier today in that PlayStation bracket. And as you can see, upper bracket final it was. They played, Rich, and it was only 4-3. So it's not really a surprise this game has also been just as contested.
No, absolutely not. I mean, we talked about it before the game started. Both players so evenly matched. I mean, if you look at even a number of Brumie's other games, down in the losers final, it was a tight game against Brig as well. So there's been tight matches all throughout his games. But this could be the nail in the coffin here for him if Kai Fifa can time this right.
Was there one more pass available there? Maybe in hindsight there was. Timed it green. And it goes! Oh, wow! Rude Hullet once again amongst the action and the goals.
Whipped with venom into the box. Player lock, Rude Hullet just pulled him out of the reach of the goalkeeper, and then the header is green timed as well from Kai. 5-3 he now leads with really not that long left.
Oh, it could be even worse, Rich. The gap's appeared. Humming Song to seal the deal. He's got so much time. It comes again. Looking for the same idea he could. Try and find that exact same corner idea. Well played. Finds Cansado towards the back post. Over that goes. Just offside was Van Dijk. But in hindsight, that Humming Song chance, Richard, should he have done something else?
Well, I think he probably thought he had too much time, really. The goalkeeper came out a little bit, but didn't quite narrow down the angle as much as he would have liked to, I don't think. But you hit that first time, you look for the loop over the top of the goalkeeper. It is a good save, regardless, but a 3-goal cushion is almost insurmountable in terms of a comeback there on the other side of it for Brumie. He still has time and still has the ability to turn this game around.
Yeah, as we said, if you have just rejoined the stream, if you're missing some of the headlines, Joey Sharp has re-qualified as the Xbox representative for Wolves. We will be trying to speak to him. If there's a bracket reset, we'll speak to him before that. If this game does conclude in the fashion it does look like it is at the moment, then we will also speak to him alongside, hopefully, Kai or whoever wins this game towards the end of the broadcast. 20 minutes for 2 goals. I mean, you can see it already, Rich, defensively. Ruby's got to go for this. And unfortunately, that's going to open him up and it's going to leave some gaps.
Yeah, it certainly will. Defensively, there's going to be holes and there's going to be spaces to exploit. But offensively, you just get the extra numbers forward and you go for it.
Here's Haaland. Massive tackle, Van Dijk. Corner, though, to Brumie. Or not. Wowee. Thought it looked like a corner to me.
It did look like a corner. It must have just bounced back off Erling.
Watch out for Haaland. He tees the run to the back post. Player locks back inside. Well played, Walker. This is where an end-to-end game starts to appear between these two in the dying moments. Possession back again. Not for so long. He can conclude it right now. Kai for a chance to conclude the match. Anthony. Oh, he does. Great feat from the Brazilian. And that could be the nail in the coffin on the Xbox side now. And believe it or not, Wolves look like they might have the exact same roster of players going back to London next year in March. But this time hoping they can go one step further.
Game, set, and match. Kai, he's come through that winner's bracket. He's done what he needed to do. Beat him already in the tournament, in that winner's bracket final. He beat CJ Pokian 4-1 earlier on today, and he's just both players, both Joey Sharp and Kai, It's been a very, very professional performance.
Nice
Still on
turn
here.
there. Adama. Oh, it's Drogba. Time, unfortunately, running out for Brumi. Last 4 minutes. As much as Wolves had to go through the online qualification rules and the online qualifier finals, the club playoffs today, it is the same result. We will be seeing the same two players back in action again in London. We spoke about earlier, Richard, but just a bit more on it, the consistency and how difficult that is for these two to go and show that.
Incredibly difficult. And also, I mean, when you've got the pressure of having that spot in these club playoffs forwarded to you as well, it's just an extra layer, but they've handled it so well. They've come through each and every game, whether it's been high-scoring affairs or narrow margins, and just shown their class in these matches. Commiserations to Brumi. If we could have 3 players, I'm sure he would be there, but unfortunately tonight, he does fall to the hands of Kai.
Yeah, we know he's involved heavily with Sheffield Wednesday at the moment. We hope him all the best there for his future endeavours with champion in hand now. Massive congratulations to Kai. It will play for Wolves again at the ePremier League finals on the PlayStation. Joey Sharp and Kai Fife. You can get it in the books. You can get it in the bracket. They will be in London on the 25th and the 26th of March next year to represent Wolves. A massive congratulations to all of us here at Wolves as well. Incredible consistency. 2 years on the trot. Honestly, there isn't really any clubs that have been able to do that.
Yeah, I mean, you're probably looking maybe Liverpool, Texan Diogo. Texas is that sort of consistent player. But, I mean, when you look around, there's a lot of players who go from club to club, sort of differing all the time. It's few and far between, but to have the double act in Joey and Kai, both representing back-to-back, it's a very, very, very impressive feat.
Well, speaking of Joey, I believe he's on the line now from home, I'm imagining. Joey Sharp, congratulations, mate, if you can hear us. Welcome back.
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
We can hear you. 2 years in a row, Joey. I mean, incredible consistency, mate. You must be absolutely over the moon to get back in action in London next year.
Yeah, I'm buzzing to be back at the LAN. But yeah, that was tougher than I expected. I didn't know Linus was in the bracket until literally the club playoffs, and I thought, great, I've got someone good that I know. But yeah, he just doesn't give up. That was crazy.
Was that extra level of pressure for you this year, sort of knowing that you've got the potential and you definitely can go back to back, but sort of having it on you as well? Did you feel that?
No, I actually felt like this was the least amount of pressure I've ever had in any competition. Because this year I'm just coaching, innit? So I've got an excuse. I don't play the game. So if I lose, then it's just not really that. I'm not fresh. So, yeah. But no, I played last night for the first time in a month. But I guess Linus is kind of the same. He doesn't really play too much. Yeah, but if you're a fundamentally good player like Linus or like me, we know how to play FIFA. It comes back pretty quick. I feel like the first game was a bit rough, but yeah, after that, it got a bit better.
I mean, yeah, just to go off what you said to Rich as well, you said you haven't played the game too much, and one of the questions that has come in from the chat is, life as a dad now must be pretty tough trying to balance FIFA in. How is that in terms of balancing, family life, competing, coaching, and I mean, it must feel so good that you can still compete at this level and to say, look, you're in the finals next year again for a second year.
I'll be honest with you, honestly, if you had a kid, it wouldn't really change that much for you, to be honest, because at the end of the day, if it's your job, you're putting time into it. For me, I'm still coaching loads with Brad. Brad's like a second son to me. It's like having another kid. I spend more time with him than I do with my own kid. It feels like at times. So, yeah, it's not it's not like you wouldn't be able to do it. You wouldn't be able to juggle it. I mean, for me, it's not my full-time job, so it's harder for me to juggle. But like honestly, like if anyone wanted a kid, like you know, you could go for a kid and play FIFA. It's not impossible. I think isn't I swear there's like a pro in Germany he like won something and he was a dad as well. So it's not impossible.
Final one from me before we let you go. Seems like you're a busy man. You've got plenty of calls coming in. Player, coach, I even said entrepreneur, social media entrepreneur, man of many talents, and you're a man who has got a lot of people behind him, a lot of support. Do you want to say anything to everyone who's been backing you in the chat on and online, sort of willing you on to be successful here tonight?
Yeah, thank you. I'm pretty surprised, to be fair, because like I said, I haven't really been competing. Didn't compete in the ECL. Didn't really do rivals, so I'm like just literally coaching. So I'm surprised. I had a lot of messages saying like good luck today and stuff. Yeah, I was pretty surprised with that. It's a really nice feeling, and like, obviously, like I wish I'm going to make sure I say good luck to them as well. Because it is a really good feeling when they do that.
Well, no, Joey, look, you know, massive congratulations today. Everyone sees what you do in the community as well, of your pro cups and whatnot, and it's very much appreciated, dude. So have a lovely weekend. Congratulations. Hopefully it's a little bit sweeter tonight as well. You will be at the Premier League for Wolves next year, and we look forward to seeing you in action.
Yeah, thank you, guys. I'll see you guys in London.
Cheers, mate. All the best.
There you have it, Joey. In London next year. Massive thank you for speaking to us there. And he says how it is. If you want to have kids and play FIFA, you can manage it.
No, I mean, I think he does it much better than a lot of other people probably do, and that's because of his technical ability. He's so good on the ball, so good on FIFA. Just the calmness. When you've got that coaching element as well, you can sort of analyse the game to an even further degree. And I'm looking forward to seeing him in action in London.
Yeah, unfortunately, we won't be able to speak to Kai. He's had to shoot off this evening, but a massive congratulations to him, who has also qualified for the Premier League. I want to say as well, commiserations to our finest tonight. I know Broomies in the chat. I've seen Linus as well around tonight. Guys, I mean, fair play. You've got this far. I know it probably feels like nothing right now, but still to get through this far, it is still something for the CV. It is still something to hopefully move forward and to help you on your future endeavours in your FIFA esports career. So no more interviews, unfortunately. So I guess what we could do, if the brackets have been updated, we could have a look at the brackets for a final time to see how that looks right now. Our Xbox journey will end a little bit like this. We didn't need a bracket reset tonight, people. Joey Sharp went through and bagged himself a very impressive 25 goals, conceding 8. He's on his way to the ePremier League Grand Finals, representing Wolves. Remember, 25th, 26th of March. Get in your diaries, because that is when it's all going down.
Yeah, I cannot wait as we start to see these tournaments and these brackets take shape and the players start to come through. It's really, really starting to build a beautiful tournament, I'll be honest. When we look on the other side of it on the PlayStation, we're just waiting for that final result to come through. But it was 6-3 in the end, a 6-3 victory for Kai in his grand final. No bracket reset necessary. He did the job twice already against Broomy. He beat him in the upper round 4-3 and 6-3 in our grand final. It was a really, really competitive top 4 on both sides of the bracket, and I really can't wait to see how these two finalists do in Kai and Joey in March.
Yeah, I mean, that's how the bracket ended there. Very different in terms of all that has been happening. A quick overview as well, if we can show you that, of what the Premier League is and where we are at right now. This is the middle stage of the ePremier League. We've been through online qualifiers. We are currently now going through all of the club playoffs. Wolves are one of the early teams to get theirs done and dusted. They will have the same roster again in London. But those 2 days, Rich, in London are going to be carnage. They were great last year, but I think this year they'll be even bigger and better, especially with the money that's on the line. I mean, we don't know what the rosters are going to be like. We don't know how stacked this tournament is going to be. Last year it was great and it was stacked just to see UK FIFA talent. Hopefully this year will just be as big. Remember, 25th, 26th of March, it all goes down live in London. Yeah,
absolutely. And we also have to say a great thank you to a couple of our partners who have helped with this entire process. Astro Pay, you can see them just above us right here, and also the University of Wolverhampton. Really, really excited to have these people on board and really helping push Wolves forward as an esports team, organisation, and the content that is being created on this Twitch channel right now. Make sure you drop a follow to keep up to date with everything Wolves and the club.
Yeah, absolutely. Again, a massive thank you to all the other partners as well that have been pushing Wolves Esports forward. We said it at the start of the broadcast, we'll end it now. From the outside in, me and Richard have seen the work the Wolves have done. There's not many Premier League clubs that heavily invest in FIFA Esports outside of the Premier League, and they really are one of them. It's our first ever time working with the club this year on the Premier League, so we really appreciate them having us on their broadcast. Thank you to all of you guys as well that have been watching today. Make sure you hit that follow button on the Twitch channel of Wolves Esports. And hopefully, Rich, we'll be back again next year. Touch wood.
Fingers crossed. We can definitely tell you that we'll be back in March, though, where all eyes will be on Wolverhampton Wanderers to see how they do at the ePremier League Grand Finals.
Absolutely. Well, that is it from us for tonight. Have a great Saturday, everybody. Thank you so much for watching. Massive congratulations to Kai and Joey. We'll see them in March at the Premier League. From me and Richard, it's good night, and we'll see you very soon. Bye-bye.